एक में से दो दो चीज चलेगा कैमरा।
ये यूट्यूब के लिए ही सिर्फ है।
तो वो बंद हो जाएगा कैमरा।
वो तो सिर्फ ये वाला जूम से जो आगे पीछे देखेंगे वही उतना ही है, और पीपीटी से चलाया जाएगा ना।
तो उसमें जाके कैमरा को चेंज करो। यूट्यूब में जाओ, इसमें यूट्यूब ऑन करो।
यूट्यूब वाला कोई एक बार सर्च करके देख लो लाइव स्ट्रीम हो रहा है कि नहीं। ICHCSC करके सर्च
इसमें ऑन
करके।
करो, इसमें ऑन करो।
एक्चुअली इस बैनर के साइड में
भाई कितना ये हो रहा है।
इसको इतना ओके लोगों को दिखाना। यूट्यूब में दिख रहा है सही, आवाज जा रहा है,
सबको बोल दो ना,
इससे ही आवाज आ रहा है।
उसको बोल दो ना यहाँ पे ऑन कर दो, लाइव आईडी बोल दो, बोलो सबको ज्वाइन करने के बाद खत्म।
कोई लाइव का है नहीं ना। यूट्यूब में जाके सर्च करना ICHCSC, वहां पे कभी भी कोई अगर आपको मैसेज आ रहा है लाइव चैट के थ्रू, तो वो Q&A आप लोग थोड़ा सा आपके साइड में जॉट डाउन करके रख लेना कि कोई क्वेश्चन अगर है तो, ठीक है। जो टेक्निकल कमिटी से है वो मैं ज्यादा उनको बोल रहा हूँ, थोड़ा बहुत
सबको बोल दो ज्वाइन कर लो, व्यू बढ़ जाएगा।
हाँ, और जो भी है अपना जस्ट मोबाइल से अपने अकाउंट से जस्ट ज्वाइन करके रख दो पीछे, ठीक है।
यूट्यूब आईडी तो बोल दो।
यूट्यूब आईडी जरूरत नहीं है। यूट्यूब में जाके जस्ट ICHCSC सर्च करना, वहां पे देखना एक लाइव चैनल चल रहा है, उसमें ज्वाइन कर जाना। इसको मिनिमाइज कर देते हैं।
पीछे से बोलो यहाँ पे।
तो सभी सामने के साइड में आके बैठिए, पीछे में बैठना नहीं है, ठीक है। एकदम लास्ट में जो दिख रहा है वॉलंटियर्स है तो ठीक है, उस हिसाब से मैनेज करना। डिसिप्लिन टीम प्लीज टेक द लीड, ओके। जूम काम कर रहा है फिर से, तनिष जूम चाहिए पूरे। मैं फिर से ये वाला शेयर कर देता हूँ। हाँ हाँ, এখানে পেজটা বসবে, এখানে ইন্টারনাল বসবে। হ্যাঁ, 4 কিনোটস আছে না, তো 4 কিনোটস যারা আছে তারা এখানে বসে যাবে। হয়তো 4 জন গেস্ট আউটসাইড। হ্যালো, गेस्ट आ गए थे। सत्तरी मैम, हाँ सत्तरी मैम आ गए मैम, रेडी। ओके सर, रेडी मैम। आप सिर्फ इंटरनल बाकी जो मेंबर्स हैं उनको एक बार कंफर्म, ठीक है। सब साउंड ऑफ करके रखिए, मोबाइल में जो जो कनेक्ट करके रखे सही, ठीक है। कोई भी फीडबैक नहीं आना चाहिए बाहर से। ठीक है, पेन ड्राइव है मेरे पास, पेन ड्राइव भी है मेरे पास। क्यूट, ये वाला लगा देते। मेरे को ये दिखाओ तो थोड़ा। हाँ, अरे इसमें मेरा जूम लगा हुआ है, यूट्यूब लगा हुआ है, कितना लगेगा? ये बहुत लेटेंसी आ रहा है इसमें।
ये सही है, एक बार रुको सर, इसको देखो फिर
लोगों को दिखाने का जरूरत नहीं,
ये बिल्कुल सही है।
बट गेस्ट सबको दिखाने के लिए थोड़ा सा फिर से मुझे दूर ही जाना होगा।
अब उधर करना पड़ेगा उससे कर।
हाँ कर पहले तुम्हें तो देख लें। सही आ रहा?
ठीक है, सही है, अब सही है। यहाँ किसी को बैठना थोड़ी पड़ेगा।
यहाँ पे मैं कंट्रोल करूंगा और आप लोगों में से कभी कोई अगर जरूरत पड़ता है तो सामने रहना, चले आना। ये बैगটা आपका है? हाँ টেস্ট হয়ে গেছে।
আরেকটা জিনিস আমাকে একটু কন্টেন্ট দে। মনীষা ম্যামের পরে এটা শুরু করে দিয়ে মনীষা ম্যামের ওটা বানিয়েছিস এডিট করে
আলাদা আপনাকে দিয়ে দিয়েছি। হ্যাঁ এখানে আছে,
আমাকে পারলে একটা সেন্ড কর।
আপনাকে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম, ওটাই আবার ফরওয়ার্ড করে। হ্যাঁ কালকে দিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম। এডিট কেন? কি চেঞ্জ করতে বলেছে?
सर इसके अलावा ना अभी प्रेजेंट में अपनी मीटिंग हो रही होगी ऑनलाइन, फिर इसके अलावा कुछ और
इसके बाद होगा लाइव स्ट्रीम के बाद start होगा।
लाइव स्ट्रीम के बाद में कौन सा वाला करना है?
ये चीज़ मैं कैसे दूँ यहाँ पे?
कौन सी वाली?
एक व्हाट्सएप यहाँ पे खोल सकते हैं जल्दी से जल्दी।
हाँ वो चीज़ है।
सर पे चीज़ दे दूँगा।
इसमें पहले शेयर स्क्रीन खत्म करो उसकी।
बट ये जूम में दिख रहा है मुझे। मुझे सेपरेट डॉक्यूमेंट भेजना है, वो स्क्रीन शेयर।
पहले सर उसको स्कैन करो।
स्कैन मैं नहीं कर पाऊँगा, मेरा पूरा भरा हुआ है सारे जगह। स्कैन नहीं, व्हाट्सएप से करो, लिंक करो, जस्ट एक बार सेंड करते हो सर को या फिर मेरे को, तो उसके बाद लॉग आउट कर देना। मनीषा मैम का जो नाम के नीचे वो कल थोड़ा सा चेंज करने के लिए बोला था, मैं भूल गया था इतने। चलो हो गया। हाँ हाँ এইখানে আসতে হবে, এইখানে এত আগে তো নেই না, इतना ही होगा, এটা আরেকটু এদিকে আসলে आप लोगों से ही सीखा है मैंने। नहीं ये मैं देखना चाहता हूँ लोगों को क्या दिख रहा है। ओपन तो मैंने ओपन कर दिया, मेरा दिमाग काम करना बंद हो गया। क्या था
जो भी अब इसके बाद में जो भी कुछ नहीं पूछा था पहले 2 मिनट पहले 5 मिनट पहले हम को दिमाग में, या वो जो सर है ना उन वाले जो सर को हमारे साथ रहेंगे।
आपको मैंने जितने भी लिंक से मैंने आपको दे के रखा है, उसमें से ही जितना है वो है, ठीक है? तो ये
नहीं वो तो है, और जैसे अभी इसके बाद में लाइव सेशन के बाद में अपने को ये चलेगा ना 4 जूम 4 आउटलेट वाले जो है।
हाँ वो ध्यान रखना है कि किसको देना है, कौन सा वाला वो देना है। आप ये लॉग आउट कर लो। हो गया सारा, बंद मत कर, यूट्यूब चल रहा है।
इसको
स्क्रीन बंद हो गया।
स्क्रीन तो शेयर करो ना उसको।
स्क्रीन तो शेयर ही है भाई।
वो आपने वहाँ से भी पीसी में करता है ओनली वो।
नहीं ये तो देखो शेयर हो रहा है, ये वाला मैं बोलो করে দিয়েছি স্যারকে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছি আমি স্যারকে পাঠিয়ে দিলাম এক্ষুনি পাঠিয়েছি স্যারকে একবার জাস্ট ফোন করে বল যে স্যার দেখে নিন স্যার দেখেও তো মনে হয় দেখিস মনে হয় মা
YouTube से जो भी ज्वाइन कर रहा है वो माइंड में रखे कि वो अपने स्पीकर से एकदम ऑफ करके रखे, माइक वगैरह कुछ भी ऑन मत करना, ठीक है? स्पीकर भी ऑफ रखना।
মাইক কে প্রবলেম ক্যামেরা কে এতে এখন মিটিং করা আছে যেটা ইউটিউব লাইভ চলে लाइव यूट्यूब से जो है इसका लिंक दे देती गूगल में ज्वाइन किভাবে করব আগে रुको इसका लाइव स्ट्रीम यहाँ से दे देते हैं ज्वाइन करके क्यों है रुको जूम में दे दे रहा हूँ चेक करते हैं अरे मेरा ये कहाँ है गूगल में ज्वाइन करो কোথা থেকে লাইভ একটু করে দিন স্মার্টে এইটা এটা আইসিএসসি থেকে লাইভ চলছে রাহিল রাহিল ओपन क्यों नहीं हो रहा इसका सेशन
किसका सेशन?
हम लोगों का सेशन यहाँ पे यूट्यूब का लिंक भी दे देगा ये हमारा फिल्म का फोटो कहाँ गया नहीं ये शॉर्ट हो गया इस चैट में थोड़ा सा मुझे लैपटॉप लेके कैसे करोगे चेक कर लिए ना उसको प्लास्टिक लगेगी तो फिर यहाँ नीचे समझो दो लेकर
सचिन सचिन सचिन
सचिन भैया
दो जो चेयर है ना प्लास्टिक वाला लेके आ जाओ ना, वो चेयर जो है ना प्लास्टिक का लेके आ जाइए।
ये अभी भी नहीं पाए फुल स्क्रीन करने से, ये इसी छोड़ दो। अभी ये रहना फुल स्क्रीन मर जा रहा है, ये देखो, इसको छोड़ दो, यही मैं बोल रहा हूँ। तो हमारे बाहर है ये अभी भी कितना दूर है मेरे यहाँ पे। आपका काम क्या है? जो पीपीटी जो बोले लोग सब कुछ का सब व्हाट्सएप पर, और यहाँ पे सब लाने का कोशिश करो व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू होना, यहाँ पे सर आप राहिल को सेंड कीजिए, ठीक है, राहिल को।
Good morning, distinguished guests and esteemed speakers and fellow attendees. I, Professor Sanchari Vasa, welcome you to the third edition of the International Conference on Human-Centric Smart Computing, ICHCSC 2024, organized by the Department of Computer Applications at the University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur. Today, July 25, 2024, marks the beginning of our two-day journey exploring the cutting-edge developments in smart computing technologies that prioritize human needs and experiences. Over the course of this conference, we will delve into topics that bridge the gap between advanced computing systems and their practical applications in enhancing human life. Isn't it audible?
उनसे करो, आवाज बहुत कम है।
Sound is coming a little low, I believe. Hello. Is it audible? We are honored to host this hybrid conference, connecting participants both in person and online from around the world. Our agenda includes keynote speeches, panel discussions, and presentations from leading experts in the field. We encourage active participation and look forward to stimulating discussions that will shape the future of human-centric computing. I encourage all attendees to actively participate in discussions and take advantage of networking opportunities throughout the day. I am pleased to announce that the proceedings of ICHCSC 2024 will be published in the Springer book series, Smart Innovation Systems and Technologies. Without further ado, let's begin this exciting day of knowledge sharing and innovation with lamp lighting and Saraswati Vandana. For that purpose, I would request our honorable dignitaries to come on stage. Professor Dr. Siddhartha Bhattacharya, General Chair of today's conference. Professor Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee, General Chair of ICHCSC. Professor Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, Honorable Registrar of UEM Jaipur. Professor Dr. Mukesh Yadav, Associate Dean Academics and Foreign Relations. Professor Dr. G. Uma Devi, Associate Dean Engineering and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Professor Dr. Preeti Sharma, Associate Dean Management. Professor Dr. Tapas Sai, Associate Dean Research. Thank you so much. Now we would head towards the felicitation ceremony. I would request our Honorable Registrar Sir, Professor Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, to felicitate Honorable General Chair, Professor Dr. Siddhartha Bhattacharya.
Just a minute over here, I'm on.
Yes, sir.
Officer Guru or somebody, can you kindly use a mobile phone and show the things that are going on, like felicitation, if the felicitation can be shown on the mobile phone, you can screen it. Like you can just join the meeting from the mobile phone and using the camera. Then the online participants can also see. See to the YouTube live, but in the meeting, somebody can just use the phone first. Yes, Professor. It's good to. You can just point towards the room. And the felicitation ceremony can be shown to you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. You may continue. Thank you.
I would request our Honorable Registrar Sir, Professor Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, to felicitate our Honorable General Chair, Professor Dr. Siddhartha Banerjee. Now, I would request our Honorable Associate Dean Academics and Foreign Relations, Professor Dr. Mukesh Yadav, to felicitate Professor Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee, Honorable General Chair. Now, I would request Professor Dr. G. Umadevi, Associate Dean Engineering and Head of Computer Science and Engineering, to felicitate our Honorable Keynote Speaker, Professor Dr. Shalpa Kumar Roy. Now I would request Professor Dr. Preeti Sharma, Associate Dean Management, UAM Jaipur, to felicitate Ms. Manisha Sharma. Moving ahead, I am pleased to announce that we are delighted to have our conference chair, Professor Dr. Siddhartha Bhattacharya, amongst us. Dr. Siddhartha Bhattacharya is a distinguished academician with extensive qualifications in physics, optics, and computer science. He holds numerous prestigious awards and positions, including ACM Distinguished Speaker and IEEE Computer Society Distinguished Visitor. Currently a senior researcher at VSB Technical University of Ostrava, he has held various academic roles across institutions in India and Europe. Dr. Bhattacharya has authored multiple books, published over 400 research papers, and holds several patents. His research interests include hybrid intelligence, pattern recognition, and quantum computing. He is a fellow of multiple professional societies and serves as editor for several journals. Dr. Bhattacharya is also actively involved in organizing international conferences and symposiums. I would request Professor Dr. Siddhartha Bhattacharya to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you for the nice introduction. On behalf of the organizing committee of the third international conference on human-centric smart computing, ICHCSC 2024, I'd like to welcome all of you to participate in the conference and exchange ideas. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome this august gathering. For this international conference, the third event in the room. This particular conference started way back in the year 2022 and is a relatively new conference altogether. given the fact that numerous conferences have been held all across the globe on an annual basis. But the important thing is that this conference has been, even being a very relatively new conference of only 3 years old, has made a great impact in the conference community due to the fact that this conference is focused on a particular specialized topic, which is human-centric smart computing. Now, what is human-centric smart computing and why at all it is important in the present context? Human-centric smart computing is a relatively new field encompassing human, computers, and the environment. So it is a three-dimensional field which actually incorporates several emerging technologies, including sensors, multimedia information retrieval, social intelligence or social networking, web mining, all the other facets which cannot be looked under a particular typical head as such. With the influx of data science and artificial intelligence in almost all spheres of engineering, science, and business, this particular type of computing, like the smart computing or human-centric smart computing, has become more and more relevant. To be frank, this conference is the first attempt of its kind in the Indian subcontinent to delve into this topic on a wider level and try to encompass this discipline across the different parts of the globe. We will be happy to know that this conference, again I am telling that it is a new conference altogether, has amassed great participation from almost all corners of the world. We have got submissions from different parts of the world, including countries from Europe, Arab Emirates, and also UK as such. So you see the interest is growing, and with the time interest is growing, and people are taking more and more interest in this particular conference. And we just assure that this type of conference is very rare, because this particular topic is very rare, of course, and that's why we host of this particular conference. And I hope that the deliberations in the coming 2 days, starting from today, will ultimately benefit the audience, as well as the young students who are assembled over here, and they will come to know a lot about this upcoming field of computing, and take up this particular computing field in their further studies or in research. So without going into details further, I would really like to welcome all the dignitaries over here and all the audience, including the participants and students from come across from different parts of the world to join this conference and reap the benefits of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. We are extremely fortunate to have Professor Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee amongst us. Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee is the HOD of CSC AI and ML at Bengal Institute of Technology, Kolkata, and a remote research fellow of cognitive computing and brain informatics research group at Nottingham Trent University, NTU, UK. Department of Computer Science, UK, Department of Computer Science. Dr. Banerjee holds leadership positions in ICHCSC and IETD in Kolkata, West Bengal. He has published over 100 papers, 15 edited books, and 4 textbooks. Currently editing books for Sprinter and CRC Press, he serves as editor-in-chief of ICHCSC USA and editorial board member of ICHCSC. Dr. Banerjee is also a series editor for CRC Press on disruptive technologies and AI. Is it audible now? We are extremely fortunate. We are extremely fortunate to have Professor Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee among us.
See, you are audible. You just start from the last one.
serendipity. We are extremely fortunate to have Professor Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee among us. Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee is the HOD of CSC AI and ML at Bengal Institute of Technology, Kolkata, and a remote research fellow of Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Research Group at Nottingham Trent University, UK. Dr. Banerjee holds leadership positions in ICHCSC and ICHCSC in Kolkata, West Bengal. He has published over 100 papers, 15 edited books, and 4 textbooks. Currently editing books for Springer and CRC Press, he serves as editor-in-chief of ICHCSC USA and editorial board member of ICHCSC. Dr. Banerjee is also a series editor for CRC Press on disruptive technologies and AI. His diverse roles span academia, research, and professional societies in computer science and technology. I would request Professor Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, VM Jaipur and ICHCSC 2024, all of the participants. Distinguished guests, on the dais, off the dais, and online. Thank you for being invited in this inaugural session of ICHCSC. I can still recall that in the era of COVID-19, 2020-2021, at that time, all we can understand at that time that what is the value of human life. And at that time, this is the first attempt in India, and it is the Scopus Index conference under the Springer publication in this particular subcontinent, that is human-centric smart computing, in this particular area where the application of human-centric approaches, super computing approaches, and data science approaches, how these approaches can be processed and can be attempted to save our life. So this particular type of conference nowadays, all we can understand that is very important for fostering research cultures in this particular domain. I must say that the IAUM management for taking initiative to organize international conference in this particular domain, it is really appreciable. As we know, the definition of computing that should be a goal-oriented approach with respect to and involving computers, the services and the utilization. And if you see the tracks of this particular conference, which almost involve certainly hardware and software approaches to combat such type of problems, that is presently now in interest for all of the stakeholders. So, all we can understand the utility of such type of conference. And in this particular conference, we have received a very good number of papers, quality research papers across the globe, not only from a particular domain. If you see in India, in almost every state, we have received participation, and US, UK, from these subcontinents like Bangladesh, Vietnam, from Arabian countries. So it is truly an international conference. And if you see the list of session chair, at least 50 to 60% session chair in this 2 days program in various tracks, they are going to handle all of the research paper which has been accepted by the editorial board, that is also from diverse domain and from 50 to 60% from abroad. So it is highly expected that it is one of the conference having the highest standard in the publication, and this is the third attempt, and I do believe that during 2 days, the participant, the student of your pool, they are going to receive quality research and they can see the cutting edge technologies application in specific domain, that is in human centric computing, and how that can be utilized in further also, right? So I hope a grand success of this conference. Thanking you and have a good wish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. We are really delighted that our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, has joined virtually in this conference. As he is not able to be present here, I welcome him in this conference. I would request Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakraborty, our Vice Chancellor, sir, to deliver the welcome address.
What is very interesting about this conference is the topic, the human-centric quantum physics. Keeps in mind the human-computer interface aspect, the human aspects. Two things which are very important nowadays. One is the LLM model of which ChatGPT has got a review test, and now with ChatGPT 5 scheduled for December 2025 launch, it will definitely bring a revolution. It is supposed to be PhD level intelligence that is going to be launched to the keep talking and motivating for us and always face this question that there is fear all around that artificial intelligence will take over human jobs. I always keep telling whenever I help so there are in today's day and age, there are tools which are used when computers came to make the same prediction that computers would replace human beings. So artificial intelligence is like a very useful digital assistant or a digital twin, but the human intelligence, the the ability to find the overall picture from various inputs, that is not there in artificial intelligence. And I always give an example. The recent international cricket tournament, international World Cup cricket, when India won, if you look at the event, the last over, it was the last over, probability of India losing was high. But India won because it is not always data driven. The world does always work. It's constantly, changing. There are so many uncertainties, and that is why human beings can, always be ahead of computers, which are always data driven. But human beings work on, not only on data like code data, but visual data, our encounter, cues that we negate, which are non-verbal, like infinite number of sources of input, multimodal input, and that is where I always keep on telling, I firmly believe that natural intelligence, human intelligence will always stay ahead of artificial intelligence, and it is never possible to keep catch up with that. Of course, repetitive job, wherever there is repetitive work, that will be definitely taken over by artificial intelligence, and the data-driven, data-driven work will also be taken over by artificial intelligence. But wherever there is thinking out of the box required, wherever there is multimodal input required, wherever there is leadership required, that can never be taken over by artificial intelligence. However, artificial intelligence will people knowing artificial intelligence and using AI will take over the jobs of people not knowing or not using AI. And that's why I think we are using GenAI in almost all the subjects. We are rationalizing the not only the usage but also the creation of AI models, the training of AI. We ramped up and our students continue to get the best jobs available in the recession. It was a bumper season for us, and the reason is that we keep on at the edge of technology. We keep teaching our students the edge of technology, and since we keep teaching them how to work and train AI models, create AI models for solving human problems, industry problems, societal. So I become today complex topic for us and complex and product and the next class of the delegate of data. There is a lot of opportunities created, which is the main aim of the conference, create opportunities for students, researchers, professors, and to enable collaboration between various researchers to have better output on their work. Thank you so much. I give the microphone back to the
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening welcome address. Our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, is also present virtually. I would request our Vice Chancellor, Sir, to share his welcome address.
So, am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you to the organizers. Thanks to the organizers for organizing this wonderful conference and all the participants who have come all the way to the University of Engineering and Management in Jaipur for attending this conference. So, once you are there in Jaipur, I should tell very little about this university. EDA Jaipur is established by the IBM and EDA Group. IBM and EDA Group is the oldest self-financed institute of West Bengal. In 2009, we were the leading organization in this technical education quality improvement program hosted by World Bank. We were invited by the government of Rajasthan to establish this university. And ever since the journey started from 2011, our students who have passed out starting from 2015 have made their way to the top positions in universities or organizations or companies across the world in top positions also. And we always believe that the figures in the cap of the students always add to the figures of the cap of the university. We are proud to say that we are now one of the mentoring institutions as listed by the ICT, the Institutions Innovation Council. Over the 200 institutes in the country, we are one of the mentor institutes in innovation. And we have been consistently ranking in the top position of Institutions Innovation Council, Government of India ranking. In North India, we are always the top first or the second positions for the last 3 years. We have also been the top institute in NPTEL examinations in 9 consecutive sessions, and that NPTEL examination is also conducted by the IITs, ISCs in association with the Ministry of Education. So that are our accolades about Jaipur. To briefly say about the conference, as you all know, that this is the 3rd version of the conference, and I am very proud to say that the 2 versions prior to that were very successfully conducted. The first version was online because it started in the days of COVID, and the second version was hybrid. It was organized in Delhi. It was also very successful. And this version, the 3rd version, we have received till now. We have received around 246 papers, out of which we accepted around 45 papers, which makes for a very good acceptance ratio, less than 20% ND. So that is again good thing about the conference, even less than 18% maybe. So it is a good thing about the conference. As low the acceptance ratio is, that better definitely that more successful the conference is. So all the accepted papers will be published. I want to understand will be published in Stranger. So this is about the conference, about the human-centric computing. Let me tell that it is the need of the hour that we design systems as per the human needs, or human-centered concept should be the prime importance when we are designing any system, be it a computer system or a normal system or an electronic system. The air conditioned remote that we use in our home, we have got 30 buttons or maybe 20 buttons in it, but we use 2 to 3 of them, and the rest of them are absolutely useless. And we must understand that a human-centric design means that we design the system as per the user accessibility or as far as the user friendliness of the equipment. So a better AC's design will definitely AC remote design will have 3 to 4 buttons. The most important ones that we use maybe an extra button to bring in some other features that others may need. So this is basic. We have opposed ChatGPT a lot, but Professor Dr. Prior said that ChatGPT is still making its way. We are over here not to only use ChatGPT, but to keep on using or keep on training AI models so that we can actually bring in systems like ChatGPT or competitors of ChatGPT to our design. That is the necessity, or that is the thing that the students of our university should be able to do. ChatGPT is more human-centric than Google definitely, because in Google, when you are going out or you're on for a trip to Europe, you can only find that what are the places that you may go. In ChatGPT, if you say that I am on for Europe trip and I want to go there for 7 days, you make me a schedule of the entire visit, then the entire schedule will be published by ChatGPT. So there ChatGPT goes better. Or as an example, when you are out, you can search in Google and find out that what are the places over here that you can visit. So there in Bangalore and you want to see the main places of Bangalore, you can find a list of those places. But if you say to ChatGPT that I am over here for the coming 5 hours, please make me the order in which I am placed over here in this location. Please make me the order in which I should visit. Keeping in mind that when the things are going to close down and I travel the minimum, then ChatGPT is going to give you the exact order. So there ChatGPT becomes more human-centric than Google. So that is how I wanted to explain to you human-centric, and I request all my students over here in the conference to kindly consider that you should from now on always try to develop systems which are more human-centric. And you should try to train AI models yourself, not merely use ChatGPT, but train your own AI models so that you can develop systems which are comparable to ChatGPT. Human-centric computing generally involves 2 things. One is a human-computer interaction, and the other is information science. Human-computer interaction may be associated with many other things. Like human-computer interaction may involve ergonomics also. But when we are talking about information science, it's about accessing the data, preparing the data, creating the data, storing the data. So combination of all this makes the human-centric computing as per definition. So you may involve IoT or industrial IoT or a bit of AI, and everything can come under this human-centric computing. With this, I will stop over here, and I will request all my students, as I said earlier also, that you should from now onwards start to develop or start create your own AI models and try to prepare things which are comparable to ChatGPT and more human-centric in nature. And I'm very excited to hear from all the researchers who are present in this conference. And I will just wait to have my knowledge level enhanced after these 2 wonderful days of conference. I should be able to say at the end of tomorrow that I was witness to one of the best conferences in the world. Thanks to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening speech. Now, I would request our Honorable Registrar, Sir, Professor Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, to deliver his welcome address.
Very good morning. Very good morning to all the researchers present over here, all the dignitaries of the dais, on the dais, all the members who have joined online. In addition to what Vice Chancellor Sir has informed about UEM Jaipur, I just wanted to add, Sir, ma'am. This year we have been in the diamond category in QS iGauge, as well as we have been ranked in Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, and we are participating in QS Digital Maturity Framework also. So I hope this year is a good to start with few global rankings, and we have been ranked in Global University Rankings UK. So all these achievements are due to our students, because our students have showcased their research capabilities, their project capabilities, and they are more involved in every kind of activity what university is taking in stride. Means they are university is providing all sorts of opportunities and possibilities to our to our students, and all the students are participating in great numbers. Like you can see over here, the students are sitting and just watching what this particular international conference are going to provide them, a kind of opportunity to see what actually it is. My dear students, if you please see, all the students, if you see the topic of the conference, I am first taking it from the front. Third International Conference on Human-Centric Smart Computing. You got it? All the students, backbenchers, please see. Now read it from the back and underline computing, the first word. Do you know the meaning of the computing? Where algorithms are used to solve certain problems, to help solve complex problems, right? You please see what computing means. Now add another word, smart. Now comes smart computing. So what is smart computing? So whatever the work computing was providing to you, now it has made smart by use of Internet of Things, by use of those sensors, those machines, which will make computing even easier. Now add another word, human-centric. And now read out, human-centric smart computing. So what is human-centric? As VC sir has already informed you that now is the need to provide everything which is required as human, as center. Because whatever we are doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the society. So it means we have to provide everything which is beneficial and profitable as well as comfortable with the human as center. Now please see again, conference on. So what is the conference? Do you know the meaning of the conference? That where research papers, where different researchers from all over the globe will present their research work and discuss the opportunities and possibilities, what actually the world is doing in this particular field. Smart computing, which is human centered. Now these are achievements, our achievements. Third international conference. It is not the first, it is not the second, it is the third international conference, and you can see the last two conferences were great success, where you can say more than 200 papers were discussed, and whatever the achievements have globally been done, discussed, and researchers were able to find what are the gaps. And definitely this particular third international conference will provide more and more gaps and discussions amongst the researchers so that we can find solutions in coming versions of this international conference. So I hope this particular platform will provide every sort of support as well as solutions to all the researchers to their problems, and best wishes to all the organizers, conveners, and whosoever is means involved in this particular conference on whatever the way. Please make it very successful, and I hope by the end of tomorrow you will be more knowledgeable, you will have more information about what is smart computing and what is basically human-centric in smart computing. So by the end of tomorrow, definitely you will be more knowledgeable about this particular field. And I request all of you to please, in the next version, come up with some solution, come up with some problem statements so that it can be discussed over here in this platform. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your welcome address. Now I would request Professor Dr. Mukesh Yadav, Associate Dean Academics and Foreign Relations, to share her welcome address.
Good morning to one and all present here. Respected Chair, Professor Siddharth Bhattacharya, Professor Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee, Ms. Manisha Sharma, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Satyajit Chakravarti, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vishwajoy Chatterjee, respected Registrar Sir, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma, all Associate Deans, HODs, faculty members, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and friends. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the third International Conference on Human-Centric Smart Computing 2024. We have gathered here for a common vision, that is, to advance the frontier of smart computing in a manner that places humanity at its core. In this era of technology, where everything is technology based, we need to understand the essence that whatever innovation we do, we have to ensure that these innovations serves for the humanity. It serves for human well-being and foster inclusivity. Human-centric smart computing is not merely a field of study. It is a commitment to creating a future where technology and human values coexist harmoniously. This conference serves as a platform for exchange of groundbreaking ideas, pioneering research, and collaborative opportunities. Over the next 2 days, we will witness a conference of thought leaders, researchers, practitioners, and visionaries, each contributing their unique perspectives and insights. We are here to explore how smart computing can be leveraged to address some of the most pressing challenges of our time, be it be healthcare, education, urban development, or beyond it. If you see, the research papers which we have received include wide array of topics such as application of AI,
innovation in EdTech, digital heritage conservation, blockchain-based inter-organizational secure file sharing, IoT and healthcare-based research paper will give new avenues to the research. Please remember that all these collective efforts have the power to shape a future where technology not only meets and anticipates but responds to human needs, fostering a world that is more connected, equitable, and humane. And that is all our previous speakers have emphasized, that whatever innovations, whatever technology, if it could be human-centric, then there could be nothing better than that. So at the end, I express my deepest gratitude to the organizers, especially Professor Sayak Pramanik sir and his entire team, and the volunteers who have made this conference possible. Your dedication and hard work is commendable. I wish all the participants a fruitful and inspiring conference. May the conversations we have ignite new ideas, the connections we make lead to lasting collaboration, and the knowledge we share contribute to the brighter future for all. Thank you and welcome to the third International Conference on Human-Centric Smart Computing 2024. Let us hope that this conference will pave way for better tomorrow. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Professor Dr. G. Umadevi, Associate Dean Engineering and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to deliver her welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to everyone. So I welcome all the dignitaries. So this is like a very special topic for in the computer science field, human-centric smart computing. I think students already are aware of some of the smart artificial intelligence we are using in day-to-day. For example, everybody is using WhatsApp, Meta AI, right? I think students are aware of this concept. Yes or no? Yes. So what that is also artificial intelligence. Now that is also application of human-centric. Sometimes you are typing in Google, maybe some mistake. You can use like a speech also, like text to speech or speech to text. You can recognize, right? That is also human-centric. Next, lot of application we are using day to day. But what are the problem we are facing due to this technologies? That some technologies is good for us, but somewhere we are facing some kind of problem. Still, have you addressed that problems? As engineers, we need to solve some problems, or we need to give some kind of like a additional to develop that applications. So India, they like a government, they introduced like a healthcare management systems. I think you are aware of the healthcare management system that need to be implemented in the remote area also. We are getting a facility in the main metro cities, but think about those who are living in the villages. Is it possible? They will get internet facilities? So very difficult. As an engineer, what you are doing for them? Are you giving any kind of support for them? Please think. So where we are facing the problem for data. Another one, this topic also include in the big data and data science. Have you addressed any problem in big data? Have you addressed any problem in like a data science? So today we gather, please find out. Maybe there are a lot of researchers are there, so they will like maybe they will come with some other solutions. Please discuss. Maybe possible to give any kind of enhancement in that problems. So NCL, like a computer application, you need to address that problems. Please find out, then make sure that is some kind of solution we need to give from this conference. That is a great. Conference is like interactions. So this is not like a theoretical. You need to get some ideas from the researchers. Also, we need to think about either possible we need to do better solution for that problems. Now let us. Data mean by we know that is we are using wide kind of data. So what is the problem with that data? So we need like a size of huge. We introduce big data and data science. So what is the problem? How we need to address some duplicate data? Yeah, we need storage, huge size of storage, petabyte, zettabyte, then we have extend that size. So how we are addressing that solutions? How we are addressing the duplication of the data? How we are addressing the data securities? Lot of securities. Now your data not in the private, some of the data may be in the public. Lot of scams are going on. Have you addressed the problems? Some technology is good, but human centric is like we are using a lot of technologies. Please find out the applications. It's as if like a HOD. First, I want to know how my students are doing good in other like in education. I'm using artificial intelligence like adaptive learning. So I'm finding. So each student, what is your skill, where you are lagging, then where I need to put more concentrations. Maybe like a lagging in the like a communications or lagging in some other part. So we need to address that problem. We are adopting like a artificial intelligence. Then like a other application if the students need to like a placement. So which domain they need to concentrate. So which like a technology that they need to learn. So this is all is coming from this kind of computing technologies. So this is a great opportunities for everyone, not only like a computer application. Maybe this is our students also missed. Maybe the chance is for all computer science as students need to address some like a problems. Also like a please stay tuned. Listen carefully from all the keynote speakers and researchers. So what they are addressing, how they are addressing the problem and everything. If you have any better solution, kindly discuss. So this is a forum to like discuss our information. This is like a knowledge sharing sections. Kindly use this 2 days to get the like a big from the other keynote speakers and everything. Thank you for everyone. All the best for this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I will request Professor Dr. Preeti Sharma, Associate Dean Management, to deliver her welcome address.
A very good morning to one and all present here on the dais, off the dais, and in the online session. It is with great pride and pleasure that I extend a warmest greeting to the third International Conference on Human-Centric Smart Computing. This conference is organized by our Computer Application Department, which conveys the university commitment to advancing knowledge and fostering innovation in the field of human-centric smart computing. We are honored to host such a diverse and esteemed gathering of scientists, researchers, engineers, corporate professionals, and scholars from around the world. The focus of this conference is basically aimed on bridging the gap between the academic and the industry, which is also one of the main mission of our university. This conference is just not a platform for cultivating dialogues, but building partnerships that can deliver significant contribution in our fields. I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers for their dedication and hard work. Your contributions are what makes this conference a great success and a platform for knowledge sharing, as already discussed by many of our speakers. I am confident that the discussions here and the connections made here will inspire new ideas and collaborations that will shape the future of human-centric smart computing. I wish you all a very productive and inspiring conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, we will begin our keynote address. It's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Shalpa Kumar Roy. Dr. Roy is an assistant professor in computer science and engineering. At Alipurduar Government Engineering and Management College, West Bengal. He holds a PhD from the University of Calcutta with research conducted at the Indian Statistical Institute. Dr. Roy has received several accolades, including nominations for the INAE Engineering Teachers Mentoring Fellowship and an Outstanding Paper Award at Whispers 2021. He serves as an associate editor for Springer Nature Computer Science and a topic editor for Frontiers Journal of Advanced Machine Learning Techniques for Remote Sensing Intelligent Interpretation. Dr. Roy is an associate of the Indian Academy of Sciences and a recipient of the INSA Young Visiting Scientist Award. His research focuses on computer vision, deep learning, and remote sensing with funded projects from SAR, WBDST, and ISRO. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Shalpa Kumar Roy on the stage.
राहिल से करो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है
सर राइल को क्या कर दो ना आपको उसको तो हो जाएगी उससे
Bye.
Audible, right? Audible? Thank you for the nice introduction. So good morning everyone. So good morning everyone.
Today I am going to present special lectures on the fancy way to train a deep neural network. So if you can recall the previous lectures given by your pro-vice chancellor and your vice chancellor, they have already mentioned that so you need to focus on how to train the models, the foundation models. He is talking about the foundation model like LLM or ChatGPT, right? So this is a bit slightly different. This is not a foundation model. This is the background model how we are going to train the deep neural network, right? Okay, so how many of you have already gone through the course of deep learning? How many of you? So do you know the deep learning? How many of you know the deep learning? Okay, you know it. Okay. You are from Gujarat. Okay, so I will start my lectures from the next slide onward, please. Okay. So before I am going to start the actual presentation, so before that we will have some recapitulations of what exactly the image classification is. I think you people all know what exactly the image classification means, right? So what the image classification means, if we have an image and we have some fixed set of labels, so that describes the image, right? So you need to find out the discrete labels which is exactly present in the image object. So if you see that image, so what is the picture of the image? So this is a cat. So what will be the label comes out through the your algorithm? What? So that will be the cat. Okay. So now, so why we are talking about the classifications? Because if you know the classifications, then all the advanced levels of algorithm you just need to tweak the modification of the classification backwards, right? So like image encapsulation, segmentation, so anything. So you need to understand the classification model very well. Okay. So I will request to the next slide. So now the question is why this image classification is challenging, right? Why is the image classification challenging? Do you know here? Anyone? Why it is challenging? No? So why is the image classification challenging, right? So challenging because there is a semantic gap between you and computer. So what we can see the object directly, that is a cat. But in case of a computer, what computer exactly see, that is the millions of numbers represented in such a way, you can see the grid of numbers shown over there, right? So if your image is having some fixed size of length, height and width, so then that many numbers are required to represent, right? So computer cannot visualize this is a cat because it only can see the numbers. So whenever you are going to recognize such images, you need to play with the numbers. You need to play with millions of numbers, right? Okay. So next. So now, why this challenges appears for this classification scenario? Why this number is going to be changed, right? So the first challenge is the viewpoint change or variations in the viewpoint. So what do you mean with the viewpoints? If you have a camera, if you have a sensor, if you capture it from the different angles where your object is fixed, so whether the value of that image will be changed or not. Are you getting my point? So depending on the rotation of the camera, the value will capture, whatever the reflectance of the light will came over this sensor, that is going to be changed. Yes or no? So that means you have a cat, but if you have slightly modified or rotate your camera, so the value of that second picture will be changed. So the problem is getting harder and harder, right? So this is called the viewpoint variation challenges, right? So next slide. So the next slide is representing the next challenge, which is called illuminations. So what do you mean by the illuminations? Illuminations means if you can closely look into the picture, if you see the top right and the right corner, so you can see there is a cat sitting over the tree. But how many hardly can visualize that image. There is a cat sitting over the tree because there is the illumination problem, right? So if you can see the leftmost, this one, you can see the one part of the cat is clearly visible, but the half of the portion is not clearly visible. So do you know what is the challenges because of the illuminations, right? So this is the effects of the illumination. So you can see the same happen with the second one, and also for the third one you can see the illumination is slightly higher so that the visualization is more clear, right? Okay, so for the next slide. Okay, so the next challenge is about to the background splitter, right? What do you mean by the background splitter? Sometimes what happens, so object can wrap up around the environments, right? So if you can see the first cat, you can see it's just make hidden himself or objects with that environment, right? It is difficult for us to identify there is a cat, right? In the certain observations. Yes or no? So same thing happened for the right, to left, that one. So there is a cat, but you can see the cat is also wrapped around the environment, right? So this is the challenge of background splatter, right? How the background is making effects on your sensors, right? Okay. So the next slide, please. So the next slide is about the occlusion. Yeah. So next slide is about the occlusions. What exactly the occlusion means? Occlusion means you can see the some portion of the object, but the some portion is not visible to you. If you see that pictures, you can see only the tail of the cat. You can see, but it is a cat. You can also see the middle one. The upper body of the cat is visible, but the bottom part of the body is not visible, right? And if you can see this one is also you can see the face, and you need to make sure that is also the cat. Okay, so these are the environmental or geometric effects which is going to be included with your sensor, and you need to make sure that this is the object which is nothing but a cat, right? So next one. So the next one is known as the deformation, right? So deformation means human. So we are human. We are also taking selfies with different poses, right? So cat is also having different poses, but it is sometimes difficult to have to identify whether it is a cat or not because the background is so according to the background and deformations, so both are very close, but here you can see the cat is giving the different poses, right? Okay, for the next one. So this is called the intra-class variations. Intra-class means so cat is a class, but there are some different species of the cat is also there, right? So we have different variations of the cat. So you can see, so these are the cat, but you can see there are different variations of the cats are there. They are very slightly different, but they are in the category of the cat, right? Okay, in the next slide. So now this is called context. How the background is also going to have some effect on the objects. So can you guess what is the object which is in this box? Can you guess? Anyone? What is the object? This is looks like the tiger, right? Yeah. So if you zoom it to the next slide, please. So if you zoom it, you can see this is none other than the dog. So, but there is a black stripe on the body of the dog. So you may see that this is a tiger, right? But it's not a tiger. So context is also having some effects in your sensors, right? Okay, next. So now, why this modern classification models is going to be more challenging and to deal with all these geometrical issues because we have challenges and the data sets which includes most of the variations we have discussed before. So which is known as image net challenges, right? You can find out there are already 1,000 label images are there and millions are images are there, right? Okay. So the next. So what exactly a traditional classifier will do? So if you write a program, so how you are going to identify the labels? So you need to have a classifier image, a function. So that you need to write like this. So it will take an image and it is going to be returned by the labels, right? So how you are going to find out the labels? So this is not the proper way to implement, or there is no hard and faster rules that you should use the way it will always give you the correct answer. So this is not the sorting algorithm you are implementing bubble sort. There is a way, there is an algorithm, right? But for this case, you will not find any proper way to implement this. Okay? So depending on the situation, depending on the challenge, you need to vary your logics. Maybe you can implement more robust way to find out the objects levels. So your algorithm should need to be robust under all the issues we have discussed in the before slide, right? Okay, next. So what happened in the earlier days of computer visions? So in the 90s, so people are trying to find out the edges or corners or different kind of angles in your images and try to build some histogram so that all the information can be captured there, and that histogram can be sent to the classifier so that it can distinguish whether it is a cat, dog or tiger, right? So these are the 90s, how people are trying to find out the features to classify an image, right? The next one. So the classification is mostly the data-driven approach. You can see, so what the way you need to follow. So there are 3 steps. You have to collect the label data because you are talking about the supervised algorithm. In the next case, you should need to choose a learning algorithm, and you need to find out the evaluated results based on the training of the model. So these are the data-driven approach. Data-driven approach should follow these 3 criteria, right? Which is given there. So we are talking about some tiny toy data set, which is called Cipher 10. So where only 10 classes are there. We are only considering automobile, airplane, birds, cat, and deers. So you need to find out. So initially you have seen that there is a classify images, a function you need to implement. So now in the data-driven approach, it's going to be changed slightly. There is a part is called training. So you are going to train a machine learning model, and based on the training, you are going to find out the predictive results, or you are evaluating the model on your test data, right? So this is the fundamental part of our classifications or data-driven approach, right? So you need to follow these 3 steps. Okay, the next slide. So before we are going to start some advanced, so we are first trying to find out the very basics algorithm which is introduced in 1976. Okay, some statisticians. Okay, so that is called nearest neighbor approach. So you can see we have the training data with labels, and you have a query data. So you can see, is the query data available in your class? So that means there is no disconnection of the training as well as the testing data. That means the data in the query should be present in the test data should be present in the training levels. So now, so how the nearest neighbor classifier is going to be find out its levels. So how? Because it is based on the distance matrix. You can see, so the query image will be the fixed, and it is going to compare with the first one, and it will find out the real value in the real space. So real value means the distance, and distance can be anything. So in the next slide you can see. So now you can see if you do now. So now you can see if you compare all these classes, so you will find the best matches in the cat class, right? So what happened? So this number will be the very low as compared to the other class. So nearest neighbor means you will assign the class having the smallest distance, right? So the R value is the distance. Okay, now next slide. So how this distance is going to be computed? So this is a very small examples taken for a very small size of matrices. You can see this is the A0 distance. So A0 distance means what? So A minus B. So we know how to play the subtraction operation into the matrix, right? So this is nothing but a matrix. And lastly, you are going to add all the values after the subtractions. And if you want to make it belongs to the 0 to 1, then you need to find out some scaling factor. You need to multiply with the scaling factor. Or you should make some normalization values, right? Okay. So this can be the distance, can be the hyperparameter. So there are a lot of options are there for this hyperparameter. You can use any one of them. Okay, next. So now how this nearest neighbor classifier works. Okay. So you can see. So nearest neighbor classifier, what it will do, it will remember all the training examples. If you know how to write the Python code, you can see it will remember all the samples in the training, including its levels, right? So now, so whenever there is a examples which is coming from the query, so it will start comparing with all the training sets, which we have already seen. The best possible value, which is less as compared to the other classes, that is going to be the its class, right? It's going to be assigned its class. So now we can go to the next slide. So as I already mentioned, this part is called the remembering the training data. So you need to store the training samples. Okay, the next slide. So for this, what happened? You are considering each examples from the test samples, and you are finding the distance. So we have already talking about this absolute difference. Then you are going to sum all those values, and you are going to assign some real number. So this real number is the minimum that is going to be assigned for its levels. Okay, next. So now, what happened for these examples? So do you know what is the advantages of this nearest neighbor classifier? Anyone? 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 Since it is going to store all the training examples, so the training time will be the constant. So what happened for the test? It will take one example, it will compare with all. So that means the testing time will increase gradually with the number of observations. So if the testing sample will increase, that means the time will also increase. That means the main main complexity will depend on the number of samples you are going to evaluate during testing. Yes. Okay, next. So this is a very much actually the you can say this is the disadvantages of the algorithm. So which is going to be flipped in case of deep learning scenario. So you know what happened in the case of deep learning. So the training will be the large, but test will be the constant. So that is going to be flipped in the deep learning scenario, right? So training will be the huge because we need resources for large number of computational resources for training, and we require once you will get the train model, you only need a constant amount of time, or you just need to the time required to multiply those values with that W, right? Okay, then next slide. Okay, so for nearest neighbor classifier, there is another disadvantage is there. So what are the disadvantages? So it also depends on the K. So how many neighbors you are going to consider to make your decisions, right? If you are going to take the decisions based on 2, so then you have to consider the nearest value of that 2 independent samples. So this is also a disadvantage for this nearest neighbor, right? Okay, next. So now we are going to use some parametrics approach. So what does the parametrics approach? So parametric approach is nothing but a function of x and w. So what is x? X is nothing but a your image, and w is nothing but a some parameters. So the function will take input x and w, and it will give you the output of 10 numbers, because 10 is the number of classes, right? So this is the parametric. Why it is parametric? Because it is depend on the x and w, right? And now the question is, what is w? W is the parameter. So we will extend our lectures how to obtain this w, because w will be playing a very critical role for this. Okay? So we need to train multiple times to get the best optimal w. Okay? So the next slide. Okay, next slide. Okay. So how this multiply is going to be happening? What happen exactly with these parametric functions? So it will take x and w, and it is going to be a linear combinations of w and x. So the next slide. Okay. So how we are getting the 10 numbers? This is a simple mathematics. So suppose your x is what 32, 32, and 3. So if you multiply, what will be the number you are getting? You are getting the vector of 3072 by 1. So your x is this, and so what is the shape of the w you need to get 10 plus 1? So you know the matrix multiplication operation. It should be compatible in the row and column, right? So now, we need 10 into 3072, the shape of the W, to obtain this. Okay, the next slide. Okay, so now, what happened? Okay, go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. Okay, so we have also an additional term which is biased. So we will later discuss why this B is required. Since we get that 10 into 1, so again we need a 10 into 1 matrix or vectors to compatible with this addition, right? So that we can have this 10 plus 1. Okay. So this is the W. So this is the first phase of the W. We don't know how to get this optimal W. So this is the W, but we don't know what is the optimal W, right? So go to the next slide. So now, if you are considering the parametric approach, so that means you are fitting some line. So this is not the line. This we can call the Lakshman Rekha. Okay. So you are putting the Lakshman Rekha between two objects, right? So that means, suppose you are finding out the class of this. So you need to put the Lakshman Rekha between this object and remaining all the other objects, because we are only considering one line at a time. Yes. So for that, you are also considering this object, and this object is going to be separated with the Lakshman Rekha, right? So same will happen for the CAD classes, right? Okay, the next slide. So now the question is, we have seen this W, which is nothing but a 10 into 3072. Is it the optimal W, or who will give you the optimal W? So go back to the slide. Go back to the slide. Go back. This. So who will give you this W? This W, so that when you are going to multiply this value with your W and this B, you will get this exactly. So where the minimum value is which? The minimum value is CAD, right? So minus 96.8. So the minimum value is going to be assigned this class. So what is the class of this image? This is the CAD. So is it clear of this? So now the question is, so we have this W, but we don't know how to get this W, because somebody is going to be supply this W so that you are going to have this optimal one and you can get the accurate class level, right? Okay, now go to the slide. Yeah. So no. So how we are having the optimal W? So to obtain that optimal W, we need to understand what is the optimization, right? So optimization, okay. So I think most of the people are familiar with optimizations. Okay, next. So if you can see these pictures is remains in the hill climbing tutorial, right? So what happened? People is goes down from a hill and is trying to find all possible ways, but he will only choose the way where the minimum energy loss is required, right? So you can see the next slide. So maybe we can see that this path will take the less number of energy loss, right? So we'll choose that path. So, so W will, how to get this W? So maybe we have seen that W will start here, but we need to find out the W, what exactly value the W is here, right? So we will try to find out. So what are the best possible way to get that W? So for the sake, now we think that we need to find out the optimizations, proper optimization to get the optimal W. Okay, next slide. So in deep learning scenario, so there are lots of algorithms are there. So we will start with the mini batch stochastic gradient descent. How many you know the mini batch stochastic gradient descent? So you know? Okay. You can see stochastic gradient descent will act in these 4 steps. So what are the 4 steps? You need to find out the batch. You need to find out the graph where you are passing through your data. So that is the network or computational graph, you can say. Then you will get some gradient. How you are going to get the gradient? You need to backpropagate those, right? So once you will get backpropagate, so after the backpropagation, you can find out the loss. So once you will get the loss, so then you can update all the parameters. So parameter based on your gradients or based on your loss, right? Okay, so how you are going to write the code? It is a very simple. If you know the Python, so this is the 4 line of codes you require to write this stochastic gradient descent algorithm. So you need to find out the batch. So then you need to pass it through the network. You will get the loss. So then you need to backpropagate the loss. So you will get the gradient. Now you need to adjust this gradient based on your learning rate. So how fast or how slow you are going to learn. So this learning rate is going to control your learning capabilities, right? Okay, this is the simple step. So now, what is the history of this stochastic gradient descent? This is the vanilla. Okay, so if you consider a very simple 2-dimensional loss landscape, you will see this kind of a diagram. If you see how the loss changing in the 2-dimensional value, you will have this kind of loss right? So what happened in this loss landscape? You can see our objective is to reach the deeper rate regions, means where you will get exactly the optimal W. So initially your W can be start from anywhere, right? You don't know where to start because randomly you will initialize. But our objective is to reach there. So how we are how you are getting this W? So every iteration, so you need to repeat this things. Okay? So once, so any questions? So this algorithm will provide you the best possible way to find out the W. So please go to the next slide. So now you see that the 4 steps will require you to write the stochastic gradient descent problem. So there are lots of problems associated with this SGD. So do you know what is the main problem with this SGD? So next. Okay. So if we draw this loss landscape in the 2D scenario, and suppose initially our W is here, which is randomly initialized, but our goal is to reach the smiley face, right? So where the optimal W we can achieve, right? So what happens if we apply the stochastic gradient descent? Anyone? So what happens? You can see this function's behavior is a very shallow in the horizontal directions and very straight in the vertical direction. Is it true? So when you are trying to find out the gradients, next slide please. If you try to find out the gradients, you will get a very low gradient in the horizontal directions and you will get a very high gradients in the vertical directions. So now what happened in the next slide please. So when your algorithm will start learning this W, so what will be the effects of this W? It is going to have some jittering effects on that W because you can see it will take a larger step in the vertical directions but very low in the horizontal. So it is having a very noisy trajectory while it is going to reach the optimal field, right? Okay. So the next question is what is the trajectory along with converge toward the minimum with SGD? So it will have a noisy effects. Okay. The next slide. So what are the second problem? We have already discussed the first problem, which is the noisy trajectory, right? Jittering effect. So you can see there are two special mathematical terms, which one is local minima and another is saddle point. So what is the local minima? Local minima means this is the scenario. You can say the local minima. Local minima means exactly the position where it stays. The derivative will be zero. If you goes to the left or right, the derivative will not be zero. So you cannot decide this position whether it is optimal or not optimal, right? Because the exactly position there it is zero, but in the left or right it will not be zero. And what is the saddle point? Saddle point means the function it's having the low gradient in that exact point, but to the left side it will go up, or the right side it will go down. So you cannot take the decisions, right? Okay. So what will be the effects? So if you apply the SGD in this scenario, it will give you the zero gradient or gradient descent gets stuck. It will not come out from this scenario, right? It will get stuck in the local optimal as well as the saddle point, right? And for high dimensional scenario, you can see this is a two-dimensional scenario, but in the high dimensional case, this saddle behavior will occur more frequently. So common behavior you can see for the saddle point in high dimensional scenario. Okay. Next, this is the third problem. Third problem what? Since we are considering the loss in the batches, so while this is going to be moved through the initialization to its optimal, so you can see there are the noisy trajectory in the path of optimal solutions. You can see there are lots of noise, right? So we need to remove that noise. Okay. So these three problems frequently occur for SGD. So what could be the solution for this SGD? So in the next slide. So in these three cases, our SGD will take lots of time, but it will not come up from that scenario. It will get stuck, and so that the convergence is going to be slow. Okay. The next slide. So now how we are going to set time tab open however please inform me the time. Okay. So the next scenario is how we are going to overcome this. So you can see we just introduced a momentum in that SGD. Okay. So you can see how we are going to overcome this using some smaller term which is called momentum. So you can see the SGD which we have already seen, and now the modified version of SGD plus momentum. So you can see, so here no momentum is there. So now you can see here the one extra term is there that is called momentum, which is given as the sign is Vx. Initially the Vx will be the 0, and so when it goes during the course of optimization, so this value is going to be higher, right? Because you have a fractions which is low, which is multiplied with the current Vx, previous dx, and this dx is currently calculated. So this dx, so now no longer this learning rate is going to be multiplied with the dx. You can see here it is multiplied with dx, but in this case it is going to be multiplied with the vx. So that can also be called as the momentum with average smoothing. So you are going to add the smoothing functions, which is in terms of momentum, velocity. Okay? The next slide. Okay, what will be the value of this rho? So that is also hyperparameter, which we can keep 0.9 to 0.99. The next slide. So now you can see what happened while you are introducing this dx. So you are allowing these gradients to flow over the space. So in the previously what happened is going to be get stuck in a position where it gets the gradient 0. Now since we are no longer dependent on the gradients, except we are depending on the momentum or velocity, that velocity will give you the extra force not to stay in the zero gradient situations, right? Okay, the next slide. So what happened now? So after introducing this SGD and momentum, you can see you can overcome this both the situations, and you can also see the trajectory is going to be more smooth as compared to the previous one, because previously what happened? So while you are starting in the zero gradient points, it will only get rotations or iterations or iterations. Now you can give out from that iteration to having a very smooth convergence over the loss trajectory, right? So what happened in this case? So previously we have seen there is a jittering effects. So now here you can see the trajectory is becoming more smooth. Now the jittering effects is no longer valid, right? So it will take. So now what happened? You know, if the jittering effects is no longer exists, that means you need less number of iteration to converge, because you are allowing less friction, less number of moving to the iterations to reach to the optimal solution of that W. Okay, so next slide. So the next modified version is the ADA. So what is the ADA? So you only see that there are smaller modification in every steps of the previous SGD. So now they have changed it from the velocity term to square gradient. You can see now no velocity term is there. They are summing up all the square gradient of the calculated from the current batches, right? So now dx and dx. So now this is going to be multiplied with the learning, but what happened? This value is going to be high if you have considered the certain number of iterations. So but here what happened? You are going to consider the current gradient, but you are dividing it, or you are sampling, or you are scaling that part square. So this is going to be considered so that it is not divisible by 0. So here what happened? So when you have the large number of iterations, so this value is going to be so high. So this part is also going to be high, and this part is going to be small. So divide it. So this is going to be close to the 0. So you can see if you run this ADA for a long time, so there is a finishing learning rate problem, because this is going to be a 0, close to the 0. So your ADA is no more going to be learn anything, because it's close to 0, right? So this is called adaptive learning. And another interesting behavior is that, so for every iteration, the learning rate is going to be changed. For initial cases, so that is called adaptive learning rates. For every iterations, the learning rate is going to be changed. So where this kind of optimization is more suitable, so when you are going to consider some sparse data, in your cases, right? For the next. So what happened with the data grades? So data grade will, in this case, what happened? We have already discussed. So this is going to take a smaller gradient. This is called the higher gradient. And the next slide. Monitor next. So next. So we have already discussed. This is going to be solved here. The learning rate horizontally is very low. Vertically is too high. The next slide. So what happened to the state size of a long time? I have already discussed. If you run it for a long time, this is going to be vanished to the zero. So next slide. So this is called effective learning rate diminishing problem. That means the decay to the zero. So if there is any questions. So if there is any question.
Kindly explain some application areas on human-centric computing. So I do believe it will be helpful for the audience.
Before starting this lectures, I already mentioned that your Vice Chancellor and DC sir mentioned that you need to understand how this deep learning model can be trained. He is talking about the generate foundation model. So do you know what is the foundation model, sir? So those are ChatGPT and LLM, and you are not able to train those models because those are hard to train. So then he told that you need to at least understand what are the backbone model you need to design and how to train. So these are the model. So Fred is asking what are the application of this optimization. So if you know how to write the deep learning code, this is the this optimization will take place an important role in every deep learning model because you need to find out the W, right? So for every training will require the optimization, and optimization will require what kind of algorithm you are going to be used. So whatever it is, human centric or smart device you are using for this training, you need to have some optimization technique. And optimization is everywhere, you know. Optimization is everywhere. So every day we are going to follow some kind of optimizations. So even if people are coming from your home to this university, you are also going to follow the optimizations. That means you are not going to use those way which will take lot of times. You are also going to take the smallest path which will take the less time, right? So optimization is everywhere. So the important is how you are going to train, which I have explained. What are the optimization algorithm available in the course? Those I have already discussed. There are some slides which I am not able to finish due to the time limits. But if you can find some interest, you can complete it by yourself. Because these are the very simple one. If you understand how the SDD works, so then you can find out all the modifications, right?
Thank you, Dr. Roy, for such illuminating keynote address. On behalf of all attendees, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for sharing your expertise with us. Your talk has undoubtedly enriched our conference and will spark further discussion in this field. Moving forward, I feel honored to introduce our next keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Hema Banandi. She has joined the conference online. Let me quickly introduce our keynote speaker. Professor Hema Banati is a professor in the Department of Computer Science at Dayal Singh College, specializing in nature-inspired computing and social networks. With a PhD in human computer, Professor Banati is an sorry, with a PhD in human computer interaction from the University of Delhi, she has nearly 3 decades of teaching experience. Professor Bonati is an active researcher, mentoring PhD students and serving on editorial boards and university committees. She has organized conference sessions, served on advisory committees, and delivered keynote speeches. A proponent of interactive learning, she has numerous national and international publications, has contributed to school textbooks, and is the chief editor of 2 books by international publishers. Her expertise spans undergraduate to doctoral levels of education. I would invite Professor Hema Banati to deliver her keynote speech. Madam is present online.
मैम बोल रही पर आवाज नहीं आ रही
I would request Hema Banati ma'am to wait for a while because there is some technical glitches. She is not audible, so please wait ma'am.
Can you please try to say something? Ma'am, you're audible right now.
Thank you so much. To begin with, I really extend my thanks to all of you for providing this opportunity, especially because this is an area which is of personal interest to me. Human-centered today is something that I've been working on for the past 4 years now. And started my journey in disability, which was to make life easy for parents. And not to usually social networks, the entire my research has been focus on how we can improve our computing power on the system so that the digital world that we all are part of today is easy. I mean, we cannot deny the fact that we are all definitely digitization is the backbone. It's a lifeline. We can't stay without digitization. And amongst that, the prominent thing is social media, social platforms, which we are all extensively. In fact, I'm getting connected to you. I have social platforms with me. So I'm able to address the esteemed audience today because of that, and I'm sure the broadcast and the promotions of this particular conference are all being done explicitly via digital media. So that forms the backbone of my talk also today, wherein I'll be talking in a very light mode of how social networks can be used and with the help of a case study that I've worked on. So my idea today of my talk is to encourage you people to see the potential areas where we can make digital life simpler for us. So before I begin with, just to peek into social media usage trends, and I am quite sure it's not going to be a surprise for you. We are all expecting this kind. This is a very recent data that we have over here. We're expecting this kind of information where we all know that we have more than 2.9 billion monthly active users. And when I say the increase is 5%, so 3 billion, a 5% increase of 3 billion, we all know the amount, the volume of this. YouTube, approximately 2.5 billion monthly active users, but the paid users is definitely much more, which is around 80 billion of paid users. Twitter. We all know we spoke viral, whether it is any kind of university issue, any entrance exam, elections happening, we know that tweets go viral in a second. And that is the amount of volume of dependence on our digital platforms today. More than 500 million tweets per day is what is being done, which translates to roughly 15 billion tweets per month. Insta, we all share our pictures. We have to share when we move on, we go out. We love to share. So again, approximately 2 billion monthly active users. Good enough. I'm not here to discuss the pros or cons of usage of social media. I'm simply here to say yes, it is being used. And as a data scientist, as a researcher, as an academician, what do I do? But let's first of all see what exactly we are referring to. When I say social media usage, what does the user mean? The user views that I have a platform, I can do personally research. I've been communicating with your organization community via WhatsApp, via mail, so I have that platform. If I want to put in some kind of opinion on my own, I share public posts. I will share my opinions on what is happening in the world, what is happening in the current elections in the US, maybe happened in the Indian elections. I want to share those opinions. I am a conscious citizen, and I will be doing that in the various schemes. I want to tell. I want to tell the community that these are the various schemes which are there available, and we can work on these schemes and maybe have good collaboration. When I'm coming here, I'm collaborating with the university with them. When I'm working with my researchers, I'm collaborating with them on the problem that I have. When I'm teaching in my college, I'm having to communicate knowledge whichever I have as a teacher. So I can, as a user, I know these are various things, a promotion of cultural heritage, economic development, everything. I know this is what I have been currently working on, and this is what I want to show to the world around. And mind you, I have a big network when I say that each one of you have a big network. And you just want to, I will not say sure, I will say they want to share things. We have our networks. Now, this is how we view our networks today in social world. Now, one thing when I'm talking of digital networks, one thing we should all realize, we always have networks. We have physical networks when we were discussing things with our parents, with their friends, with their family, friends and friends, friends of friends, family friends, their extended family. We had a large network at that time also. What changed with respect to physical and digital? Change was in digital, the global world went down. We are now connected across to our friends, across countries. We are connected to our researchers, our collaborators across countries. So our web now looks like this. This is the current, this is just a small social web structure which has been derived from a prominent university, and it's a very long social web structure. Now what do I see? This is what I see is small dots over here. These are nodes, these are elements. I see there are connections over here. I see there is a bit of dense connection over here. I see the density increases towards the center, not always in the center. I see there is some kind of sparse connections over here. What I see is a structure, and as a scientist, I'm curious of studying that particular structure. So when I'm seeing the structure and I want to know what the structure, I want to know what is happening behind the scenes. Formulation of complex structures is happening, and as a researcher, I have this urge to study what is the shape of the structure, how is it formulating this way, what are the key locations over here, how are these tiles and rings being formulated, are these permanent tiles or are they changing? If there is, then what is? How many tiles can one particular individual have been here? These are the various kinds of questions that comes up into a researcher's mind. And mind you, researchers also give their inputs to the industry, to corporates, to institutes. So when we analyze this data, this is promptly being taken up by various organizations, by various corporations, by various institutions. So what comes over as a natural thing to you that I'm sharing my data is formulating a long scenario behind the scenes. Applications diverse. I can use it in corporates, can use it in stock markets. We all know a lot of data, a lot of exchange during the COVID era was done over in using social networks, human resource management, mass surveillance has been happening. Applications are lost. We are not interested right now on an application. What I'm trying to indicate over here is that the focal point on a social network analysis is not within it, but what we are analyzing is how is one individual connected to the other. X connection with Y, Y's connection with Z, Z is whether it is in fact connected to X or not, and what is the kind of that connection is. And once as an analyst, I'm able to get this data, I collect this data, I do all this scrubbing, I clean this data to perfection, and then we will analyze this data. And what analysis is there when we do not have information? Visualization. So we visualize that data. Because pictures, it's often said pictures speak more than 1,000 words. So the identification is that we have networks and we're going to perform their analysis. So just to brief, as I said, pictures representing, if you see, this on the left-hand side is real world people, they are communicating with each other, they have other legal entities which are coming over in real world, and you have network representation over here, and the network representation, if you see, it is all nodes over there which are connected, and you can see, if you see, we are shown over here by colors, there are certain outliers. These are also nodes of this network, which is perhaps reflecting these kind of lines of network which we have. There's a dense population of pink color over here. There are hues of purple. There's a hue of blue over here. Red coming over here. These others are a bit of blue over here. They're indicating different kind of nodes, different kind of clusters. So this is how we translate our real world system, complex real world system into networks. Now, analyzing this kind of networks is a big and a humongous task. And when I say big and humongous task, I'm actually referring to what kind of application we're actually using it for. So my application also varies. Now when I talk of real world networks, to begin with, this is a very predated era kind of a network, which is the friendship network of a karate club. Now, if you look over here in this karate club, you can see that there are two nodes which have been marked as dark over here. So, and there are a lot of connections over here, So, node number 1 and node number 34 have got lots of connections over here. What I am identifying over here is that this node is kind of formulating its own community over here, a very often used word in social networks. And this kind of node is also formulating a community over here. And these communities are not isolated, so there is a kind of overlapping over here. Terms which we use often in networks in analysis. This was a basic karate club. We moved over to emails, we moved over to exchange networks, so now we can see that the networks are now expanding. And we have again, if you see, small clusters over here, which are indicative of small communities. But in general, we can see that the linkage over here is more gray area over here, it's more dense. Whereas the linkage over here is comparatively less. So another term that we use is that of density, community, clustering. These are the terms, and how do we use them? How do we tap them? What is of interest to you? But before that, yes, so we understood that network is something like a graph. So we have nodes, we have edges connected with each other, and we have a network which is nothing but an amalgamation of nodes. Each node is independent because we talk of that node as maybe an individual, maybe an event, maybe an idea. So it's independent on its own. But yet it has got a relative value which is of interest to the other nodes, which is of commonality to the other nodes. So we will be in social network analysis. We study this entire network science. We study what is the human relationships, what are the connections across them, and a study is never in isolation. So network analysis, especially SMA, dates back to its roots in 1930s. And it started all from the field of mathematics. But we all know human relationships we cannot study without psychology being involved in it, without biology being involved in it, anthropology being involved in it. So it has an amalgamation of various branches which encompasses various things. It is never studied in isolation. So we will be looking into the aspects of human relations and their connections which are being formulated, and how can we use them for our improvement in our digital world. So those who study the social networks see these relationships as nothing but building blocks of the social world. You put more emphasis on these building blocks when you get the social world. And you can then see emerging pattern of connection. That kind of emerging pattern is what we are interested in. So what we want to study is how are the different individuals related. So actors over here basically the various individuals that we have. What is the pattern of relationship? Is it a short-term relationship or is it a long-term relationship? I have connected with this conference over a period of time, maybe a month, I'm connected. If I collaborate further, this connection might increase. If I do not collaborate further, then this becomes a short-term connection. Then I establish the connection. Then I establish the structure. Then there is a collaborative network of all the academic researchers over here. So we get connected because we visited the same venue. We did this kind of work over here together. And then we keep on exploring such kind of structure. The entire story begins over from there. We have got a beautiful story which we can then tackle. As I mentioned earlier, the usage of network analysis is in various areas, and these areas are increasing because digitization has increased. Had we not had all the transportation networks in a digital manner, we could not have made the analysis. But today we know if I have to travel to some place, I know I just open my Google Maps, see where it is dense in traffic, I avoid that area to any other area. So what I'm doing is I'm analyzing and somebody's giving me that value. So evidence spread modeling, web networks, travel networks, so the areas are unseen as I mentioned earlier. How do I use this? I use it for information visualization, as I mentioned earlier. I can see what are the patterns. Can I create something from it? Were there some outliers, and if there were outliers, if you remember, I had mentioned few nodes that were outside, perhaps because they were outside the real world also. What do they signify? Do they have any significance over there? Is there any pertinence to that? So I keep talking about that, the gaps over there. But everything would be visualized over here. A very prominent area of social networks is in personality. It's not common area. Open source intelligence is basically a collection and analysis of data which we gather from the public and the covert sources. We all know there is a deep net and there is simple net. So data is being generated across all the networks. So open source intelligence is one such place, which where we have relationships being formulated, networks being made, and these data is being primarily used for law enforcement various classification of data, classified, non-classified, proprietary intelligence. But it is being increasingly used to, uncover criminal networks. It's also being used for academic research. As I said, that academicians are also producing a huge amount of data. And this is from a special need now for the scholarly big data. So it is data about our patents, about our academic documents, about our slides, the presentation that we have made, the collaboration that we can do. In case if you see Google Scholar, everybody is accessing that. We all know the moment we go on a particular page of Google Scholar, the site will tell me these are the people who are associated with this person. So there are various sites you can make beautiful maps out of during which period I collaborated with these academicians, and the other period I collaborated with this, and who are the ones who are permanently going along in my academic journey. Visualization tools will help me identify what has been my journey and what is my trend and what can I even predict. We can kind of predict what is this person going to do by looking at the spiral of the person's academic interest increasing or decreasing. So basically, we come to the fact that it is all formulated as a network, which is either a graph or a social graph, and we are basically connecting them together as interconnected pieces. And once it is a network, we apply our network sciences to it. So what are the various things that we can measure? We can measure the size, we can measure the shape, we can measure the density of the network, and the positions of each element. And then we have various metrics which are there in social networks. We can measure the closeness. I'm not going into the details of all these, but these are the common terms which we use: network density, centrality, betweenness, how close a particular node is to the other, how many nodes in a particular area is working with, the centrality is being there, the betweenness, and these are the various factors which are there. And what do we do out of that? Because these help us to study how is information diffused. I get data advantage that moves on to the other. So how do I check over that? How are opinions being formulated? How are communities being formulated? Which is the most central node, because that helps me in identifying a lot of things. Which are the nodes which are lying towards the outer side of the node. So we can study the various network dynamics over there, and then we can go into population and trend analysis over there. Good enough for us as network scientists, but all this various social media user developments. Now, before I go on to positives, I just listed few over here. Did not want to bombard you with the ethical class on social media. So we all know that our phones also indicate that we do a lot of screen time, so our performance reduces. Yes, it does. More of reduction in work performance, so perhaps more of stress, and maybe because of digital media we are connected, so you all know that X connection of mine has moved ahead so much and I'm lagging behind, or X connection has done this kind of computation I'm not done, or it has gained that degree I'm not done. So stress can add to social media usage. Somebody has traveled in some particular place that I have not traveled over here. So I'm missing out, which we call as fear of missing out. So those are the kind of things which do add stress there. Perhaps decreases the happiness. But on the positive side, if you see, the outcome in education has improved by collaborative learning. Academicians have gained a lot. Community structure bonding has increased. And there is something which will form the focal point of my presentation over here today is we can harness the user's interaction. And by understanding the user's interaction, we can deliver more personalized and relevant content to them. Preferably the use of social media algorithms, which all of you have witnessed to some extent. Because the moment you buy a particular thing from Amazon or any other platform, you get another link over there saying that you are interested in this, will you be interested in this thing or not? You send a mail to someone and it says some keywords are dragged from here and you get an idea, oh, the work has been done over there. So you are, the keyword extraction thing has been happening for a long time. So it is this thing that I want to draw your attention to. By extracting the relevant and personalized content, can I market the relevant product? That means can we use it for commercial improvement concept? And can I use better algorithms in order to do that? So improving commercial market by tapping social networks is my focal point over here. So we all know today advertisers are finding out the online social networks to be the best option. They know that they are targeting a huge big base of customers. That is why most of the ads are coming on Facebooks rather than the conventional media. They are coming on television. I'm not denying that they're coming on the radio, etc. But the best option to most of the online social network is that you advertise on the digital platform. Target the digital customers, perhaps because of instant connectivity, and another thing, perhaps because of instant review option also. So, what do these advertisers look for when they target commercial people and commercial? They want to identify where exactly they want to invest their money. Well, I think most of you are familiar with because this is an age of influencers. So we know that media management, what is important is the engagement rate. How many people like your content? It's a big stress also. How many like, how many comment, maybe share your post. So engagement rate, how active your social media posts are, how frequently you do it, and how many followers. I'm talking of real followers. Which brings us to the organic reach of your social activity, which is the number of people who are actually clicked by your post without any paying anything. So what we are meaning over here is that these are the people who are basically actually affected by your post. Then bounce rates, and this especially for social or Facebook fan pages that you posted, but these people did not see your. Either they unliked them or they reported it at start or blocked your content. Now it might be stress for you, but I'm talking in terms of commercial market. In terms of a corporate organization, if I'm going to invest in a social media thing, I need to know the social media users, how much are they able to engage people, how much is the content which is being disliked by them, and how much is the click-through rate, which is a metric of how well your posts are performing, who all are viewing your content, who all are interacting with you, who all are responding, and that is why most of social media influencers they keep posting small surveys in order to identify, in order to increase their reach and identify whether the people are interacting with them, because the level of interactivity increases over here. All this is in terms of commerce, then I would say that what I'm basically focusing is the network analysis is, I'm talking of organizational network analysis, I'm talking of value network analysis, and I'm talking of influence analysis in both these cases. So my focus is there is a network for the internal organization, which is internal, maybe the outside commercial organization is not interested, might be in some service. What is the value, net worth, or the worth of your net worth? This is of potential interest to the vendor who is going to invest with you. And what is the influence analysis which might be of interest to a researcher and the consumer? Whatever be the networks. So we have segregated our commercial networks into three parts. We have an organizational network, we have a value network, and we have an influence network. Whatever the network will be, our key bones of contentions are identifying the problem areas. What are the potential sub-networks of usage? What is the expertise in each of them? And where exactly do I have a scope of enhancing the I can go ahead and make it more, creative and make it more innovative. So, this entire study formulated the backbone of our research, which we did on target product promotion on social networks. This is the work which has been done. Me and my research student, PhD student, Dr. Monica Bajaj, and this has already been submitted as a thesis and it has been approved now. So she applied the evolutionary model in order to study this particular product promotion. So first of all, before product coming over to our framework and to our work, which will show that how we can actually harness this social media, let us see how the product is being promoted. Whenever a product is being launched, whether it is a small product, whatever product it is, our first task is to inform the audience that this particular product is going to come. So there could be a pre-launch thing, pre-launch kind of a thing, or it could be lots of ads on social media, or maybe flyers being distributed whatever way, or maybe by word of mouth. We circulate the information within this now, which could be kind of hype created or factor of the product. We move on to then reminding the users. This is a product which is coming over. This is a product which is being launched in market. And once it has been launched, we keep on persuading by this is irrespective of whether it is digital world or whether it is a physical world. We keep on advertising it, keep on sending flyers, keep on encouraging the audience that you may get this kind of a deal. So there is persuasive deals available to the target audience that we are informing them to react to something keeps on happening. We never react to their product. Tell them about the particular product, the features, and keep on reminding them. The audience are very short term. So just keep on reminding them, this is there over here. Then keep on persuading them. Okay, this is how it is going to be beneficial. Why don't you go ahead with it? We are all interested on that. This is the kind of technique that has been done earlier also. Conventional product promotion systems, they used to, companies are there, they used to promote their products by means of magazines, TV, radio, FM, and the product information was spread out a lot, sent to the customer, and the customer made the decision. And but this decision was not solely on the basis of only the ads or the shopkeepers. It was also on the word of mouth, which is you asked your friend, okay, you want this particular product, now is it great? Okay, you ask your elders, you ask the shopkeepers, if it's been selling off for so long, how many pieces you have sold off, the word of mouth circulates that this product is doing well. So all this was happening earlier, but now what is the change in scenario? Now the change in scenario is physical world still being existing. We now have a digital customer.
Everyone please inside in the hall and ask who are
once they
outside
have their experiences, they have their opinions, they share these experiences. Where? On the digital world. So social science, they share their opinions. So once they share this opinion, these opinions which they are sharing, this plus the word of mouth which is there, works as in tandem with each other. So we have the digital opinions, we always have the word of mouth. These both would targeted together over there. And then what the companies think is, let us now target our product on these social websites where this digital customer, where these people are putting. So what
rather than becoming simply as something as the word of mouth, we move over to something that we call an electronic word of mouth. So we have something called e-word. And marketing now becomes e-word marketing, or also moves over to something called as viral marketing. What happens in viral marketing? I tell you one person, this one person tells it to three more, this three more tells it to maybe an exponentially two more over there, and the word keeps on spreading over. So my objective of viral marketing remains very, very simple. Very simple. We're going to the concept of having simplicity in class. And what is that simplicity? I want to target. Recording in progress. I want to target a wider influence, but with a limited budget. And what is that particular budget that we are going in for? We will see one particular person over here in the social network. This you can see is a big social network, not a very big, it's a small social network where 10 people, including the person whom I'm calling as a C over here, they are connected. Now, what this person does is, he passes on some information to this person. This person is connected to this, who is in turn connected to this, who is in turn connected to these all over here. So, what the information passes on to their neighbors, passes on to their neighbors. So, this particular one person has the capability of spreading over to more than 70% of the population. Two are not connected because this person, if you can see, is in isolation. We do have nodes who are not connected much. They want their own kind of space. So perhaps they are not to that particular influence, accessible to us. So, but we have outlined these two people over here. We have been able to connect and to spread our message with a limited budget. We have been able to spread this influence to most of them. So, we understand that the crux in viral marketing is seed identification. Seed identification, which can also be referred to as the most influential person or the influencer. But we will not go by the influencer's own statistics. So you can we not go by the statistics which social media platform tells us that this is a highly influential person, because we have something in mind which is not related to the influencer's capability of influencing other people. So why do we need to? So we need to study what can happen. We need to have a method of identifying what is the net worth of a particular seed and how do I do it? I have options of choosing seed. So let's say I choose this particular seed. When I choose this seed, this is the person who is getting influenced by this. Nobody else. This is just the only person who is getting influenced. Because this person, if you can see, there is out degree from this node. It has in degree from us, but otherwise it is connected only out degree goes over only to this particular individual. And unfortunately, there is no out degree from this individual. So if I choose this person, I am able to access only two nodes over here, only two people. Not good, not viable for me from the point of commerce. On the other hand, if I choose this person, I'm able to actually access the entire network. Because from this person, I can connect with this, I can connect out the goes over here, and first say this person is able to connect with here, this person is able to connect, and I can see there's a complete outreach to all the people. So obviously, the worth of this individual as a seed is significantly much better than the worth of this as a seed. But then I can't keep identifying the out degrees and in degrees to all the extent and finding out that what is it. I can't do that, but it is, I need to, as in previous thing also, so optimized things have to be done. So I just can't keep on getting to basic statistics and basic facts over there. I need a better version of identifying these highlighted values policy. So what we did was, we tried to apply an evolutionary algorithm. This is just one of the ways. We can have various ways of this. What we did was, we applied Firefly algorithm. And Firefly algorithm is inspired from real fireflies, which we all call them. And we all know real fireflies have the tendency of emitting a whole light from them. That is not, hot in nature. And that is because they have that chemical reaction called biogenesis over there, and that's for a very short time, and that is basically which is produced in the lower abdomen, and this helps them in attracting their mating partners. So basically giving a call to their mating partners by emitting that kind of light. An algorithm based on the nature of this firefly was developed by Zheng Yang in 2008, and there were three basic formulas for formulation of firefly algorithm. One, they did not consider the gender of the fireflies, and they considered that attractiveness is proportional to brightness, and as the distance will increase, the attractiveness will decrease, and the brightness will be determined by the objective function. So where exactly we are going for, that will be determined by this. So this is it just for the firefly algorithm. This is a typical evolutionary algorithm where we have a population of n fireflies, and we determine the intensity of this, and these fireflies keep on evolving over a period of time. We iterate the evolution of that and the table set of population, find out the best mating partner, move that firefly towards this, and compute the difference and intensity. This algorithm was the backbone of our work, that particular thesis. But when I'm talking of my today's talk over here, I'm talking of that we can apply any such kind of algorithm, and we can, we have an enhanced version also being worked out to go in for a targeted product promotion. So how do I go in for targeted product promotion? It's basically segmented and very, very simple. We have a market. So as we can collect data from the reviews of various users, we take those data, we check the opinions of all the users, we extract a certain set of features, we find out what is the interest of the user, we find out what the user wants. Based on that, we cluster our market, and then we will find out which is the most important segment, and we target on that. Apparently very simple, but let's see what did we do. So we did tap the market demands, and what did we do? We tapped the market demands in terms of product features. Now we can always say it's very easy to collect features, not that, because market is something which is dynamic. What was important earlier, this is an age-old photograph of how the mobiles were. Now think of how the mobiles are today. We have the foldable mobiles, we have the slim mobiles. So size was an important thing, no longer now. What is important now? Maybe camera pixels, audio quality, can I fold my phone or not? So what is happening is market is evolving, market is changing dynamically. What was an important feature maybe 2 years down the line, in today's world, it is no longer significant. So the significance, the dynamism, the activism in case of market is changing, and the people tap these changing trends. So when I'm talking of market, I'm saying that we need to extract the features which are most important, but for that, I need to mine the opinions which all the people are putting up in visualization. So we go in for opinion. So when we go in for opinion mining, I extract the significant information from the opinions which are gathered about the events. So for example, there is a product which is simple digital camera. Now there might be various reviews for a digital camera, not a phone, it's a digital camera in isolation. So my user one might say that, okay, it's good in its price, it's good in its stability, it's good dedicated view button is there, but I didn't like the manual, there was no manual culture over there. The other person did not actually think that was a setback, and they said, okay, it was difficult to press buttons, flash was not good, blurry edges was there. So user 1 and user 3 are saying that blurry edges are there. They might report it in a different manner. English might be different for them. But what we can easily see that they are referring that yes, blurry edges are there, and but most of them are saying that price is good, size is good, and so on. So we try to mine those opinions, and we try to create a feature-based summary of the opinions on a digital camera. So what we found was that on a particular product of this particular digital camera, most of the users tend to find that camera picture, that is in size and weight of that particular product feature. But they also have, some kind of negativity for the other. we are not interested in those products. What we are interested in what the users are doing. So we find out that the preferred features for the users are different. These are the preferred features, and each user pays a different thing. So for example, user 1 pays a lot of importance on size, but not much of importance on weight, which might go hand in hand. But user 5 is paying a lot of attention as user 1. So there is a similarity in user 1 and user 5. So both of them are paying attention on price. But on other things, I am not finding a similarity in user 1 and user 5. So there are various angles of exploring the relationship amongst these users. So we try to in our study, we try to extract the users, summarize the user's opinion. So when there is a review, we use simply POS tagger, and we try to extract that the important features in this particular thing are nothing but picture quality and flexibility. So basically, we are avoiding the connectors, we are avoiding the objectives, the adjectives which are being done over here. We are avoiding all those things, and we simply get a list of features that have been given to us. Given those set of features after that extraction approach, we formulated a set of features. Now this is being shown over here as a very small set of features, but it was precisely a huge set of features which we extracted, and we could not basically as a company also, as an organization also, we are not interested in all the features that we are extracting from the opinions. We need to somewhere have a focal overview of the entire thing. So what we did was we applied a kind of feature selection approach. In our case, the feature selection approach that we applied was using some kind of reduction approach, which is also a pipeline algorithm-based reduction approach. And we tried to find out, we applied a similar method for attribute reduction over here, and we tried to reduce our most preferred features as sum. So it's just a picturesque view which we are showing, but we had an ample set of features which we extracted, and out of that we extracted these are the prominent set of features which more or less the users are putting their significance or preferring them over the others. Now why did we need these features? As I said, my interest has always been on human-centric computing. So what we wanted over here is, using this set of features, we wanted to find out what is the user interest. Now, identifying user interest is not an easy job. We do have explicit formulas of methods of extracting them by using survey forms, ratings, feedback, but we all know that is not, everybody does not post a rating. We keep on requesting them to fill surveys, they do not. So there are other than the engagement rate and content view, there are other ways of implicit methods which we identified, which some of them which are like what was past purchase history, which is the exact items view, the viewing time, the browsing pattern, and all that. Then various of these. And after creating this kind of user information, we try to generate a user profile. And there are two profiles which are users, which we made of user. One was the product-based profile. What are the kind of products this particular user is interested in? And the other was the feature-based profile. What are the features this particular product is having, which this user is interested in? So there were, two perceptions on the same thing. One was the product-based and the other was the features. Now again, as I said, not all users post their opinion. There are certain set of users who also simply read that. They will read reviews, they will use those reviews to enhance their decision making concept, but they will not post it. So they are simply just having a look and then they make their own decision. These are what we call as categorized as passive users. And what we did was, this is just a short of what we did. We took their product viewing time and we tried to formulate a formula in order to get out in there, because it is very difficult to extract the interest of passive users. They do not delve out much information. They are ones who will use the information, but they will not provide. On the other hand, our active users are what are liked by corporates and by organizations, because they are the ones who are vocal about their about their interests, about their feedback, about their opinions. So when they share opinions, we extracted their reviews, and out of those reviews, we would extract, we would actually formulate a feature-based profile. So once this was done, we took a feature extraction approach and we found out the most preferred features. I hope I am not taking too long for the presentation. Hello? Hello? Do I still have time?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You will have more 5 to 10 minutes, and then we will wrap up and start the next part.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we did extract the most preferred features, and there was the picture. We tried to formulate these over here, and we tried to estimate the users' interest towards most preferred features. So once we obtain the feature-based profile, the task was apparently that we have a huge market. Now, do I intend to target the entire market? Practically not feasible because I have a limited budget. I'm working with a limited constraints. I cannot go at one instance in the entire market. So what we do? We divide the market. When I say I'm dividing the market, I'm not actually dividing the market. I'm creating small clusters of the users. So in this picture over here, if you see, we have created user segments. We represent the different segments, and we use clustering of these particular users. So small segments. And how are we creating these small segments? We are creating these clusters based on the similar product needs of this particular user. One set of users is interested in this kind of product. So obviously, my target is to go to that segment of user rather than approaching all. If a particular user is not interested in a product, why should I market? This is different from the physical marketing media that we create. We were just floating in a huge amount of or wire or TV. We are sending the message to all. Digital, we need not. So this is one deviation that we can do. We have now a small cluster. So we apply this clustering approach. So we have been formulated, and in our work, this clustering also was done by using Firefly algorithm. We enhanced the Firefly algorithm in order to have a beautiful approach, and this Firefly algorithm did lead us to very efficient results also as compared to the regular clustering techniques that we have. So the state-of-art technology did help us in getting better results over there. So we had segments over here, and then this clustering was done. Then the influence propagation on social sites was considered. So for example, if I have this user, how does influence propagation work? So I have a user at a particular time, he sees a particular article, he says it's nice, let me share it to one of my connects. So they share it to their connect. The other person receives it because it's not in sync media, it might be async media. So if that person reads it in influence. In our technology, in our terminology, that person is influenced. Once that person is influenced, that person says, okay, it's very nicely and it's good and I like it, let me just pass it on to my friend. So the influence is now getting propagated. So now this particular person reads it and says, yes, I really like this. This is what's influence. If this person might not have been influenced, this person might have stopped it, and then these stories can be formulated and care. So what we do is, after identifying this kind of thing, we select segments. We know this is how influence propagation works. We select segments, and the segments we select based on what is the type of product that we are going to promote. So the segments will be the companies or the corporates prerogative. This is the product. These are the features which my product has. My contemporary does not have this kind of product. So let me just pass on this information and let me choose very carefully those segments who might be interested in my product. Because then what happens is my sales, if I'm giving them to the right audience, my sales increase. So I choose the segment. And this is the segment we choose. And then what we do? We tap the social networks of the selected segments. So we learned that this is the social network of this particular selected segment, and in this now we will compute we did compute their influential probability. Not everybody has the possibility of spreading the influence in the same manner. What is the probability that X user will actually pass on the influence to other and Y will do so or not? So we computed that influential probability. There was we did a lot of work and we just checked over from the other works to do, check over the action log, the propagation graphs are being taken and influence metrics has been done. So we formulated our own social behavior similarity metrics. We tried to check over the learning influence probability, one on the basis of how similar one user is in terms of the social relationship. Like for example, this particular person, these two people are connected. The purple one and the green one were initially connected. But at time t1, this person did something and passes over. Time t2, green one also passes over the person. That means they are similar in behavior of their social relationship. So we computed this superfactor which is formulated by us as per the phrases. We did try to compute who all users are similar in behavior. This is one similarity metric. On the basis of their interest, we formulated another metric, which was interest-based similarity matrix, where we had basically vectors which contain the weightings based on for a particular item and different users, and we computed their average and formulated and this kind of thing. So we see now that these are the users who are, based on their interest, they are similar. So we have two similarities. One is based on their social behavior, and the second is based on their interest on a particular product, on the ratings that they are giving for a particular product. So mining the green is mining the social network. So what we did was we estimated the influential probability based on their rating behavior, based on their social behavior, metrics formulated, and we computed a new similarity matrix which was given appropriate weightage to rating and social behavior, and this was the similarity metric which we were able to identify what is the possibility of this user passing on their influence to the others. Once done, we moved over to the selected segment, tapping into their social networks, and after the influential probability, we formulated a social graph for each of the user in this particular selected segment. So we have a set of nodes, we have these nodes connected to the edges, and on the edges, if you can see, we have weights. These weights are nothing but the influential probabilities of what is the possibility of this user communicating some kind of an influence to the other. And based on that, we could identify which is the most optimal seed. And we did apply the K-max, the K most influential users of the net. These are the users to whom we will pass on our information. We will give this information to these users and we tell them that this now, see, we have a limited budget. So whatever trials we want to give them free samples or we want to give them freebies over here to promote their product. Now we are going to expand it further. So we have identified amongst all users the most of this scale will be determined by the budget. So how much a corporate is going to take those fees, accordingly we will decide. Maybe we can have a classification of the fee also. So the top 10 most I'm going to give this, the next incentive, the next pay I will give this as an incentive and have a product. But for that I'm sure that my product is being, for that the corporate is sure that the product is being sent to the most influential person, not as per the computation of others, but as per your product which you want to sell. So this formulated the effective e-marketing strategy that influenced and it was found out to be very effective in terms we did check it out the accuracy, decision recall and all those metrics. So we could use a small fraction of our advertising budget and influence the large span of social media users. But the intent remains that if you just explore the social media, you have the potential of doing something big enough. And the idea is you need to tap it properly. But again, as I said, everything is not black and white, there are shades of gray. So there are few limits to replacing traditional advertising with social network distribution. One is nobody can have a permanent loyal viewership. Viewership is also dynamic in today's digital dynamic world. So viewership also changes. So there is no guarantee that you say that the influence of this person is more, the influence of this person might change, way over. So the dynamism will always be. So we need to be recomputing people. Also, loyal viewership need not guarantee that your influential user might not be happy with the previous promotion that was passed on, right? So might not be passing over the same. And in fact, there is another line of work which is that of distrust. So the level of distrust is not one increasing. As I said, trust is fragile. So it can be easily destroyed also. So these are the things, and therefore no advertising mechanism or no marketing strategy can just be employed at one time and looking for that. We need to evolve. We need to evolve on how the techniques we can use. There are various methods of social media algorithms which are now getting enhanced, and these can be applied. So,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
This is the I want to show.
Hello, am I audible?
So, yeah, so I'm Anila. So I just want to say that we should all go into a more collaboration and have a happy social learning here. So thanks from my side. In case there is any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So thank you, Professor Banati, for your enlightening address. Your insights into leveraging social structures for computational efficacy were both innovative and thought-provoking. We greatly appreciate your valuable contribution to our conference. I would like to introduce our next keynote speaker, Ms. Manisha Sharma, who is a G20 and TEDx speaker, life coach, and influencer with 20 plus years of experience in social and skill development. An MBA graduate, she has transformed over 10,000 youth and is passionate about helping marginalized communities. As a single parent to a differently abled child, she combines personal experiences with professional expertise. Ms. Manisha has worked with organizations like Walmart and Tata Group and is globally recognized for her social initiatives. Her mission is to create an equitable society through mindfulness and future skills training. I would invite Ms. Manisha Sharma to come upon the stage and share her keynote address.
Good afternoon, all of you. Good afternoon. Wake up call after the tea break. Are we all awake? Awake here or here? Awake here? Are we awake here? Yes, super. Okay. I congratulate UEM for organizing this third international conference on human-centered smart computing. You'll be learning all about smart computing throughout the day. You have the brightest of the people sitting there, the stalwarts, people who are recognized nationally and internationally. You are in such safe hands. But I would add one more thing to the model that we have here. It is University of Engineering and Management. Good education, good jobs, good humanity, good earth. Okay? It has been an absolute honor to speak amongst the stalwarts sitting here and the brightest of the minds. May I also take this chance to thank all the bright minds listening to us on the online mode. Let us keep in mind that the human is defined not only by the skills we carry, but also how impeccably we implement them, keeping in mind the H4. I call it H4. What is H4? What did COVID tell us? What did COVID tell us? Health on. What do we have to keep on? ON is highlighted here. On. Keep it on. You be healthy. Heads on. Work with your mind. Hearts on. Keep empathy. Be kind. Give back. Hands on. Have those skills practiced. Your practice will make you perfect. No theory is going to take you anywhere. No professor can enable you for life unless you know that how you have to go and how you have to put the line and how you have to fish. Okay? So it is hands-on, long-term, sustainable in all aspects of health, head and health for this beautiful planet and mankind and the complete ecosystem. So we are talking about the complete ecosystem. We are all brightest of the mind sitting here and we are focusing only on human-centric. I heard all the chancellors and the pro-vice chancellors of your university saying and focusing on only one aspect, which is human-centered. I see lot of youth like you, lot of youth who will pick up small little problems in their own communities. So there are children who are coming from small little villages. Okay? They saw one problem in their village and they have created a fantastic startup around it, using the modern technology. Keeping in mind the depth of talk and the sessions aligned in this international conference, I decided to keep the topic macro and laser focused on the two of the most happening topics, that is digital and AI. There's a lot to speak, but I'll keep it focused on digital and AI. Just as all efforts shall be leaving us all with ideas to ideate, concepts to conceptualize, build and act on the direction of not only enabling job seekers, job providers, but also leaving behind an army of human beings who will keep this humanity safe and who will keep the earth and the planet safe for the next generations to come. Please apologize here, I could not make a PPT or a deck because I was planning back and forth and this is what I typed when I was in the flight. Okay? And I'm presenting this like that. Okay, so and it is a wonderful next generation, you guys sitting out there, which are more focused on how many likes you got on the social media, who are following you. I see so many fantastic research papers being presented there, but I still see some people gossiping, okay? What matters most importantly, my children, I call you children, is where is your energy going? Where is your energy going? We are all energy, right? What thought is the energy going? What action is the energy going? Am I building myself or am I building someone else? Where do I see myself 5 years down the line? Okay? And for this, you will have to keep all quotients balanced, which is intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, adversity quotient, and social quotient. Just as it is important to be aware of which thoughts are pulling our energy and keeping ourselves aligned with our vision and liking, similarly it is pertinent to be aware of where we are today in terms of technology, digital and AI, where we are, and where do we want to go. In incorporating all these intelligences which I mentioned for a social good. Do something. Leave back. Your signature is not the signature that you do on a banknote or a check. Your signature is what you are going to leave behind for the next generations. And that will involve a lot of passion, a lot of focus, being here and now. Next, please. Okay, a question to the audience. How many of us sitting here love being human-centered? Raise your hands. I'll keep it very interactive. How many of us love being human-centered?
How many of us love being human-centric? Human-centric is a major word there. Raise your hands if you are human-centric. Are you human-centric or mobile-centric? How many of you, oh my God, just one person is human-centric in this whole crowd? It's all mobile-centric, is it? Okay. Then we need to change. We have a tough task ahead. One person raising hand on human-centric. Okay, and how many of us love smart computing and technology? All? But we don't love humans. That's a dangerous situation. Okay. Are you going to make atom bombs and through AI and throw it at someone's head? Or are you going to work for the betterment of humans? Okay. Okay. Moving ahead, that was just to give some little energy in the world. Nelson Mandela. We know Nelson Mandela? In one of his speeches mentioned a quote by Maya Angelou, which goes like this. Can you scroll up, please? In life, people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. But I don't think this quote is any more relevant because of the digital age. All of you are moving away from being human-centric to being more mobile-centric. And feelings are dying out. Okay, please scroll up. Okay, now a very important question. How will people remember us in this digital age? How do you want people remembering you? Is somebody shooting your person? What was that? Okay. Next question is, how will people remember us in the digital age? Now that is going to be your stamp. I call it, and we call it in the industry, a digital stamp. Okay? Can we go up? I know all of you are tired, so I'll keep it short and crisp. Okay, now there are three most important L's. One is, how do I achieve my best life? How do I achieve leadership? And what is my legacy? Please remember these three words. They are very important. It is your life. Where are you making it? Where are you leading it? Are you going to be a leader tomorrow? 1, 2, and 3. What is it that you are going to leave behind? Which is going to be your legacy. And that is what we call digital stamps. Please go ahead. Now the stamp has a full form. Okay? S is simple. T is true. Please scroll up. A is act. M is map, and P is for people. Okay? What is happening nowadays is that it has been researched that human beings are not made for multitasking. We are made for one task at a time, and then we switch to the next. That is how we are programmed and wired. Whose job is to multitask? Computer. And there's another research which says that whenever we try to multitask, we are dropping our intelligence quotient or IQ by 10. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in dropping my IQ by 10. So I avoid multitasking. Simple is, your task has to be simple. It's not about adding stuff, it's about decluttering. Keep one task at a time. Second is to authentically follow your passion. What is it that ignites a fire in me? What makes me interested and happy? What do I want to do in life? So passionately, for which nobody has to coax me, get out of it. There are many who might be smiling and thinking in their hearts, oh ma'am, I love sleeping. That's my passion. But that cannot be a passion, okay? Act. It's not only you're being simple and focused at one task at a time,
It's not only your being passionate which will take you somewhere, but it will also be action. You cannot just keep thinking in your bed, I want to be something, I want to be somebody, I want to be somebody, and then you become that. No. You have to act. And as you're marking a destination for yourself, what after 2 years? That's a short term. What after 5 years? That's a long term. Where do I see myself 2 years from now? Which company? What salary package? Give it a number. If that motivates you. And what after 5 years? And peace for people, which we are discussing here, which is human-centered. Everything you do, always remember, it should solve a problem. And it should solve a problem for the larger good of the community. Okay? Can you scroll up? Now, this is what I have already discussed. Your IQ drops. Can you scroll up, please? Yes. Come here. Focus on the output and not the throughput. Okay. What is the meaning of the word throughput? What is throughput? Anyone? When you're scrolling social media, what is it? Is it giving you any output? No. You have to be very conscious of the fact, whatever your name is, this is, for example, I'm Manisha, I'd say, okay, Manisha, is this controllable? The answer is yes, I'll give it my energy. Manisha, is your energy going in the right direction? If the answer is no, I'll stop it there and then. You have to be very, very consciously wired here to be successful in life. We must also remember that the digital pioneers do not use old maps to get to the destination. Steve Jobs, he was fired from his own company, which he was a founder of, Apple, at one point of time, because people did not agree with his vision. But that did not stop him. Okay? Please move ahead. Stop it. We should not receive pushback. What is a pushback? People criticizing. People being critics. Oh, you will not be able to do anything in life. Oh my God, this part is a weird idea. Who will use it? If Steve Jobs had listened to the pushback, he will not be Steve Jobs. And same goes with you. Never be deterred. In this digital age, testing and failing shall keep happening. You have to test and fail, you have to test and fail, you have to test and fail, but fail better. It is better than never trying. You know you tried, you failed, but this should not stop you from trying again and again and again and again until you reach your destination. Okay? You fail better, you fail forward, you fail fast, and I or we in the industry, we call it not awesome, but we call it flossom. Okay? Which is we all have flaws. We all have flaws. Be flossom. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. Be you. Make those errors. Make those mistakes. Fail, but get back up again. Dust your clothes. Have the courage to try again. Okay? Next, please. And the last piece is the people computing technology has been people focused. I remember how we used to go to the terrace and lean out of the window to correct the antenna. I don't know how many of you have done it, but I've done it. Our television never used to come correct, so we used to hang out on the terrace to just shift the antenna so the picture comes correct. And now we are in the age where AI can manage your homes and your cars remotely. Right? So technology can build such wonders which we've not thought 10 years, 20 years back. What are drones doing when there are floods in India? They are dropping food. What are farmers doing? They are using precision farming to be able to understand and improve their productivity, understand the condition of the soil, understand which seeds will do well, which will not do well. I have known students who belong to farmer families and have gone back and started their own setup for their fathers, and they are doing wonderfully well. They are exporting. and they are as young as 28 and 30-year-old. Okay? You scroll up. Stop it. And what great wonders we are creating with AI, infotech, biotech, energy, and climate. But we must remember we can take a hammer and build a house. You can take a hammer and build a house? Yes? You can also take a hammer and break something. Similarly, technology you can make or you can break. Technology is neutral, it is how you use it. But I have known that technology makes you tempt, it gives you so much money and power. Look at Facebook. Can you scroll up, please? Okay, stop there. Facebook makes a $150 million profit every single day. How much million? 150 million US dollars of a profit every single day. And the second most important thing which you can note down is, but at the same time, Facebook is single-handedly the biggest negative force on democracy. Why? Because they have feeded an algorithm on the Facebook, which will make you view bad news 6 times, 8 times more than the good news. And do you think those algorithms are set without an intention? Or they are set with an intention? Are they doing it deliberately or are they doing it because they don't know anything? They're doing it deliberately. Okay? Scroll up, please. So the 6 biggest game changers that we have been discussing wherever I go in conferences are these. They are AI, quantum computing machines, or the machines which can compute super fast. Fusion energy, so we are going from nuclear fission to fusion, okay? Which means that in next 20 years, we will have unlimited energy. India is also going ahead and making a floating nuclear energy giving plant, floating. It's going to be a 6,000 CR project, okay? Synthetic biology, wherein we'll be able to create new materials, genome editing, and geoengineering for a good and a greener planet. Now, these are the top 6 technologies which are going to be in. And just the climate change alone shall be yielding 100 million jobs in next 20 years. Only climate change. So nobody is taking away anyone's job. Okay? We are optimistic not because the problems are less than we thought, but because our capacity to solve them because of technology has increased. Problems have not decreased, but our capacity to solve the problems is larger and higher. Can you scroll up, please? It is mind-boggling when we sit down and think on where we are and where we are in terms of possibilities. Our mindset contains the future. So whatever your next generation will make out of this technology will be the future of this country and the world. It's a gift. It can be a gift or bomb. Most people have a relationship with their screens than the people, and this was proven in a test when only one hand went up, saying human safety. I think 2. Focus must be purpose, people, planet, prosperity. Prosperity is always better than profit because it is focused at empowering more people and enabling more people. Can you scroll up? Currently, both human also. What is happening nowadays? What are we seeing? Do we see artificial intelligence communicating with human intelligence? Do we see that happening? Yes. But which is greater? Is it human intelligence or is it artificial intelligence? What does the word artificial mean? Which is not real, right? So it cannot ever overtake a human intelligence unless human beings want to feed it to it our capacities of emotions and human skills which a machine should not learn. The day it learns that will be the age or will be the day when it goes bad or it goes against us. Okay, so we are using ChatGPT and AI to seek answers, and that's what we're talking about. AI is about turning data into information into knowledge. Intelligence in real terms doesn't mean knowledge, of course. It always has to be good. It actually means having power to shape the world. Intelligence does not mean what is the knowledge you get. It means what is the power in your hand. Can you change your village? Can you change those students who cannot go to school ever? Okay? So I've been working with the children of rat pickers in Delhi. Rat pickers? We work with them. And these terminologies and technologies are just beyond. So we are so blessed sitting here in an air conditioner setup, but still refusing to learn. Okay. Can you scroll up, please? Okay, no, remain there. Yes. And if we have AI with an IQ of 1 billion, the way forward is that the founder of OpenAI, Sam Altman, saying the coming change is about this, the human abilities for a machine to think, create, understand, and reason. That is the next stage of AI that all have been looking at. Question is what we want and who's in charge. So who is in charge of Facebook? Right? Will he want his own profits and thing, or he's wanting a greater social good? His profit. Okay? So who is in charge is a very important question. If the technology is in the hands of wrong people, it can turn all wrong. Now we have people making machines that look like humans. Samsung Neon, how many of you have read about it? Have you read about Samsung Neon? Google Samsung Neon. You have phones in your hand, you can do that. And then there's another thing which is replica, okay? Which replicates dead people so you can communicate with them. And that is all happening with AI. Okay? Scroll up. Now, which task can have higher potential of automation, support, and augmentation? Okay. We are saying jobs are not going. This is just supporting, but which all segments in the industry are being supported? We have office and administration being automated. We have sales, business, financial operations, not completely, but being operated partially. And legal, art, design, entertainment, sports, media, computer, mathematical, life, physical, social science, architecture, and engineering. Okay? So all these fields, AI and digital, is entering and making a mark. You need to choose your space and you need to decide sitting today where you want to be and what you want to do. Machines are not coming for factory workers, please remember that. Are the machines coming for factory workers? Are they going to take the jobs? Machines will take the jobs of factory workers? What are the factory workers doing? Hand jobs? So they are not going to take their jobs, but they are going to think they are coming for us. That's knowledge workers. Okay? But it will depend on us and how we shape it by keeping it human-centric, and that's a good news for all of us. Because if we can automate parts of our routine, we can also do that for a machine now. Scroll up, please. We have right policies in India. We have NITI Aayog, we have other bodies which have made the policies intact, and those policies are working in favor of academia, in favor of corporate, till now. But what happened with Microsoft recently? We heard the news. The server went down, and what was happening throughout the world? Chaos. All flights jammed. People are not getting their boarding passes. So you know what happens when one small error happens, the complete world can shut down. Okay? And with this, I am leaving all of you and all of us with a food for thought, which is what you want to do. We will be having a lot of research papers presented tomorrow. Today, also after lunch, we'll be having a lot of speakers coming up. And I think this is one of the best opportunities for all of you sitting out there. Learn. Learn and try to understand what is it that the university and its professors are trying to give you, and what is it that you want to build for yourself and your community, and in what time span you want to do that. You don't have infinite time. Nobody has infinite time. Okay? And thank you for your precious time. Humbled and honored being here and being invited. I came all the way from Delhi to meet you all. And it has been a lovely experience. And I'm looking forward to further sessions. I've kept it short and crisp because I can see tired faces and a lot of knowledge going in and being poured in. Okay, thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to thank Ms. Manisha Sharma for their insightful and thought-provoking keynote address. We truly appreciate you for sharing your knowledge and experience with us today. Your contribution has undoubtedly enriched our conference. I would like to thank all the keynote speakers of today's conference. I would thank our attendees for sitting patiently for so long and sincerely listening to the speakers. I hope the motto of our conference is successfully communicated in the discussions and result in further problem solving. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have reached to the lunch break. We have further exciting sessions of paper presentation after the lunch break. So I request all the students to come back in the conference hall by 2:30 p.m. for our afternoon sessions. Thank you.
Students are requested to move out of the hall room in an orderly manner and please come back after your lunch. Okay? Thank you.
मेरा नाम ही दिखा रहा है चार्जर तो लगे रहने देते
चेंज कर दो लंच वाले के नाम पे नोट्स लगा दो लंच कर दो 2 मिनट के लिए लंच ये वो जो इंटरनेशनल थर्ड कॉन्फ्रेंस वाला वो लगा ये लंच वाला थर्ड लगा के रखिए
वॉलंटियर्स को रहने के लिए
Dear students, please go for your lunch and come back after taking your lunch. Volunteers stay there only.
किसका बैग था ओजस्वी ये तुम लोगों का बैग है
नहीं चाहिए तो बोल दो, मैं भेज दूंगा OLX पे।
All the students go for your lunch, and after taking lunch, come back promptly, and volunteers stay there. All the other students, after taking lunch, come back here. Thank you.
क्या हुआ? पेपर प्रेजेंटेशंस वाला ओपन कर दो जस्ट। यहाँ पे एक हम लॉगिन करके एक सेशन यहाँ पे चला देंगे, क्योंकि यहाँ पे फिजिकल एक लोग है, वो बात करेंगे प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए। एक फिजिकल प्रेजेंटर है, उसको हमें दिखाना होगा यहाँ से सेशन 1 से। For the paper presentations and join the respective links. I'd like to just join the रुको, पीछे क्या चल रहा है वो फोटो खींचने स्टार्ट कर दिए थे। इनॉग्रेशन को क्यों मेरा वाला वो बना हुआ है, क्योंकि ये आप प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो ना, इसलिए ये प्रॉब्लम है।
प्रेजेंटेशन तो करके जाते हैं, अभी थोड़ी करेंगे, आगे कर लेंगे।
रेडी करके जाना है। यहाँ पे जो फिजिकल देना है उसके डिटेल्स आपको
अरे मेरा भी नाम है सचिन। सुनो सुनो, क्या नाम है तुम्हारा?
अरे मैंने छोड़ के
यहीं से रुका भी फिर वापस
नहीं तो बोल के तो अंदर रख देंगे एकदम सारा, मीटिंग में देखेंगे बोल के।
अरे प्रेजेंट भाई
खाने के लिए तो अभी चल
मैं जा रहा हूँ।
ठीक है,
सर वो जो
इसका लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग तो बंद करवाओ। हम बोल रहे हैं खाना पीना सभी